Ladies and gentlemen, we are the very best in fantasy wrestling excellence, bar none, period. Welcome to episode number 409 here at the Archiverse. Welcome to WCW Starrcade. And we are now well on the way to the next big stream preview of 2022, which is, of course, actually going to be over at the Shark Tank on YouTube. It will be YTD Academy's very first stream preview, tribute to the troops. And then we march straight on forward, full steam ahead to the end of the year, the biggest show of the year for the Archiverse. It is going to be the second annual Archiverse Slammiversary, and it is going to be one hell of a thrill ride with all three brands looking for glory, looking for championship gold, looking for bragging rights, and of course supremacy. Tonight we're going to kick things off for WCW, and we've got 9 badass matches, 4 championship matches, and it is going to be a great night of in-ring action. But before we get there, we're going to have a quick look at the dirt sheets, and of course we'll get into the Between the Ropes segment a little bit later. I have a smashing list to have a look at later. But let's have a quick look at the dirt sheets here real quick before we get started with anything else. And actually, before I get started with any of that, I'm going to open up my dashboard.
3.
There we go. Dashboard is open. But anyways, to the dirt sheets we go. And I did see a couple interesting things. Starting with something from Wrestling Inc. And it's Lamar Jackson responding to Chris Jericho, calling him out. It's from about 6 hours ago. And it's by Eric Mutter.
5.
Now, it says, things were happening on AEW Dynamite last night, to say the least. The show began with Jeff Jarrett joining AEW by hitting Darby Allin with a guitar, and by the midpoint had featured the long-awaited return of Colt Cabana. Later, Katsuyori Shibata saved Orange Cassidy from an attack by Pac, and then proceeded to agree to a match with Cassidy tomorrow on AEW Rampage. That was, of course, followed by rapper Rick Ross appearing to defend Swerve Strickland against accusations, or as Ross put it, false accusations made by partner Keith Lee, just as everyone had predicted. And Lamar Jackson was also there. The star quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens got a huge ovation while walking through the crowd during Jon Moxley and Lee Moriarty's match, and was later called out by Chris Jericho prior to Jericho's match with Cabana. It was a big enough moment that Jackson was asked about it today after the Ravens practice, which the team posted on Twitter. He said, "I got called out," Jackson said with a smile. "I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't thinking he was going to call me out. Chris Jericho called me out. I was like, damn, I didn't hear what he said at first. Then they told me, and I started laughing. I'm like, this man is crazy." I enjoyed it, though, because growing up I was a huge fan of wrestling. It was cool to go see that. Ultimately, Jackson didn't follow in the footsteps of Football Hall of Famer, occasional pro wrestler Kevin Green in getting physical, though he was surely rooting for the Blackpool Combat Club as they battled Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society up on the ramp. As of this writing, Jericho has not responded to Jackson's post-practice remarks. So that's interesting. Now they're just calling out football players. It's interesting what they will do. Glenola opening a few betting lines here. At least the first 2. Oh, no, he's opening it for... I'm unsure what you're doing there. Is that for match 4 and 5? You're opening the betting lines for matches 4 and 5? Is that what's going on here? You're trying to throw me for a loop. You're trying to give me a headache by figuring this out is what you're trying to do. Explain yourself, sir. How dare you? Just drop a 4 and a 5 after redeeming those betting lines. I mean, I'm assuming you want matches 4 and 5 of the evening to be open for betting.
Superstar switch up. Want to become someone else for the day? Type superstar.
But anyways, while we're waiting for Glenola to answer, back to the dirt sheets we go. AEW Sean Spears has apparently been quoted as saying, "I've always seen myself as an intercontinental champion." Oh, hold on. all matches, but I have to do them. Well, yeah, I removed. Okay, excellent. All betting lines have been open. Yeah, I removed open all the betting lines because a lot of the times we open them for every single match, and we take the time to open each and every betting line, and then not everybody participates in the bet. So I'm trying to encourage if they want to open it prior to the championship rounds, because I brought the championship rounds back. So the last 3 matches, again, are the championship rounds, and of course betting lines are automatically open. But if they want them open prior to that, they have to open them individually. If they do it themselves, then I at least know they want to, have the opportunity to bet. But that's why that option is not there, and you have to do it individually. Krondos, what's going on, my friend? Welcome in. Yeah, the jackpot numbers remain the same. Nobody won the jackpot yesterday. All right, so anyways, back to the dirt sheets. So this is a Wrestling Observer. Oh, wait, actually, it's f4wonline.com, and it's by Ian Carey.
I know you just want to make it more offensive and hater for me to open them.
All right. So it says, AEW Sean Spears, I've always seen myself as an Intercontinental Champion. Spears appeared on the sessions with Renee Paquette recently. Sean Spears says he still has a few things left in wrestling he'd like to accomplish, including winning a championship for a major company. The 41-year-old was a guest on an episode of The Session with Renee Paquette and released on Thursday. During the discussion, Paquette asked Spears what keeps him motivated and what his love story with wrestling. He said, the reality is it's been a love-hate relationship. It's been up and down. It's been a lot of down. There have been times where I've hated this industry, and the reason being it's entertainment. And without pulling the curtain back too much, there are just things you're not in control of. So it can have a tendency to make you feel like you're not good enough despite how hard you're working, despite how much time or effort you are giving the industry, and despite what the audience may be doing. It may just not be your number, and the business doesn't owe anybody anything. It moves on with or without us. Spears and Cassie Lee, FKA Peyton Royce, are expecting their first child in January. What keeps me motivated is what keeps me going is knowing that my legacy, the legacy I leave behind, will have nothing to do with pro wrestling. In my opinion, no one is going to probably remember me in great detail after I'm gone, but my son will. My son will know what I've done, my future children will know what I've done, and my family knows what I've done. My nieces and nephews will know what I've done. And if that is enough to guide them down a good path that can be beneficial to their life and the lives they create with someone going forward, I've done my job on this earth. Spears also mentioned that he feels his time left in wrestling is limited. He said, I'm winding down. I don't have a lot of time left. That's probably the main reason I put pressure on myself now. Spears continued. Packard asked him if he doesn't have a long time left contractually or physically. Both, he responded. Body-wise, I'm in really good shape. I'm in great shape, the best shape of my life. I mean, in the sense where I've never been at the main event, top of the card schedule. I've never had to do the champion schedule, so my body's almost 21 years is in really good shape. Condition based on what I've done, but there's very few things that I would like to do left in wrestling. I'm pushing to try to check off a few of those boxes before my time is done. It's been difficult, and it's been a challenge, but not more challenging than anything else I've been through in 20-plus years. Spears continued to say that winning a championship is something left he would like to accomplish. He mentioned being inspired by a photo of Brody Lee holding the TNT title with both of his sons. My goal is to be decorated, is to win a championship at a major company, AEW or elsewhere. That is my goal, just so I can have that time and that prize to show my son in the future. He continued to say WWE's Intercontinental Championship is a belt he would like to win. Being completely honest, I've always seen myself as an Intercontinental Champion, Spears says. I grew up on the Mr. Perfects and the Rick Rudes and the Ultimate Warrior, and then as I got into wrestling, it was always seen as the Workhorse Championship. So I had always seen myself in that zone. So perfect world, it would be the Intercontinental Championship. And that is all he has to say as far as that article goes. So he really holds the Intercontinental Championship in high regard, as he should. The Intercontinental Championship, if utilized properly, is supposed to be the stepping stone to the world title. And it was always held by some of the greatest ever. So, you know, Glenola says, I know you just want to make it more expensive and harder for me to open them. Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, so I don't know. As far as Shawn Spears goes, I don't know if he's going to accomplish his goal. I just don't. He's 41 now. If he's going to, they're going to have to pull the trigger soon. I mean, you know, I just don't know. I can't say that I don't like Shawn Spears. I mean, I've never really been a fan of his. I don't know. He needs to find some sort of new gimmick or something. I don't know. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you guys like to see Shawn Spears win a championship in a major company? Notably, he'd like to win the Intercontinental Championship. Would you like to see him go to WWE and win an Intercontinental Championship? What do you guys think? All right. So here's a spoiler. On the WWE Crown Jewel main event. We'll have a look at that in just a second. Crondo says, hell nah. I don't want to see Shawn Spears in WWE. He doesn't need an Intercontinental Championship. Froggy Motlake says, I love how Spears looked small in WWE, but gained half a foot going to AEW. Yeah. Yeah, that tends to happen, doesn't it? Alright, do you like Shawn Spears, Froggy? I mean, I could do with or without Shawn Spears, I'll be honest. I don't dislike him. I can't say I have a problem watching him wrestle or anything. I'm not, he doesn't do anything really for me. It's, like if I was, I don't know, watching a different show and you called me up and said, yo, Shawn Spears is wrestling, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
He is bland.
I mean, I wouldn't change the channel to watch him. He is bland, yes. He is bland. I do agree with that. Froggy says, I don't have anything against him. I like his work more as an AEW heel. Yeah, well, he probably is doing better as an AEW talent. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. But, apparently his goal is to win the Intercontinental Championship. Do you think he has what it takes to go back to the WWE and win the Intercontinental Championship? I guess that's the question we need to ask ourselves right now. I don't know if he's going to win a world title. I mean, AEW maybe give him a world championship up. I don't know, but I can't see that happening. I mean, who would he? I just don't think that would happen in WWE. Intercontinental Championship, perhaps, but again, I don't know. I just don't know about that one. But anyways, this is WrestlingHeadlines.com and Mark Middleton. We've read many of his articles. So, YouTube star turned boxer Jake Paul is reportedly scheduled to make his WWE debut. A new report from PW Insider notes that Paul is scheduled to be at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia on Saturday as his brother Logan Paul challenges undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns in the main event. Jake is scheduled to be in Logan's corner while Reigns will have the Bloodline in his corner. It will be interesting to see if Sami Zayn is there with the Bloodline. He usually does not work the WWE Saudi shows for religious reasons, but WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H noted during Wednesday's Q3 2022 earnings call that Reigns will have the entire Bloodline with him, indicating that Sami may be there. We already know that Solo Sikoa and Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, the Usos, will be there. Triple H also teased an appearance by Jake during the call. When talked about WWE working with the outside celebrities, he commented, one example this Saturday will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel, where one of the world's most famous influencers. Logan Paul will face off against the tribal chief Roman Reigns. Undoubtedly, Roman will have the entire bloodline with him, which would make one wonder if Logan will have his very famous brother Jake Paul fresh off his win against Anderson Silva in his corner to help even the odds. Jake has been mentioned a few times on WWE TV during the Paul versus Reigns feud, and on Twitter he teased an appearance following the Crown Jewel press conference back in September. The Paul brothers have flirted with the idea of working together in WWE, so it would be interesting to see what Saturday's appearance leads to in the future. Jake is coming off his boxing win over former UFC champion Anderson Silva on October 29th in front of 14,000 fans. Paul won the bout via unanimous decision. The fight went all 8 rounds, and Paul knocked Silva down in the final round. He now has a record of 6-0. And that's all there is to that article. So, did you guys watch? Are you guys MMA fans or boxing fans? Did you guys watch Jake Paul fight Anderson Silva? Froggy says, I could see him win the IC belt. I don't know if the push would be phenomenal or no, probably not. It probably would not. I mean, maybe. I don't know. He might get a bit of a better run under Triple H than he would have in the Vince McMahon regime. I could say that much, you know what I mean?
To see a complete list of champions from each respective brand.
Chrono says, Paul brothers disgust me.
WCW or
well, I think they disgust a lot of people. Oddly enough, it's the people that are disgusted by him that seem to pay the most attention to him. So there's that.
My friend was pissed at the decision.
Don't follow boxing, but my friend was pissed at the decision. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a few different people say different things.
Total robbery.
I haven't watched the boxing match. I do have to still watch the boxing match and see what happened. And I have not done that yet. So, all right. So let's see what else is going on here. We'll look at one more article, and then we'll get the show on the go, and we'll continue any articles thereafter. Here's something from Ringside News. Subhaji Mukherjee. Again, we've read plenty of his articles before. So, this is WWE nixed huge creative plans for Randy Orton, apparently, due to his injury. So it says, Randy Orton has accomplished a lot of things during his 2-decade run with the WWE. The Viper has done pretty much everything one would want to do in the WWE, and fans one would want to do in WWE. Orton is out of action at the moment, and it seems WWE had some huge plans for him after his return. Randy Orton has been out of action for a long time due to his back injury. He was written off WWE television after being attacked by the Usos. Since then, fans have wondered when he will return to WWE television. During a Give Me Sport interview with WrestleVotes, it was reported that WWE's original plan for the Viper's return would have seen him imminently turn on Matt Riddle and begin a feud between the two. Yeah, I was afraid they were going to do that. I mean, we've seen that so many times. I just don't give a crap. Unless he's just going to... I mean, if he's going to start Riddle and just walk out and RKO his ass and pin him, I'm okay. Let's do that. I don't want to see... I mean, I don't care to see Riddle versus Orton. I really don't. But anyways, when Randy Orton went down, the plan was for him to come back and imminently turn on Riddle. Randy Orton could also miss out on the remainder of the year due to the injury. Perhaps Triple H might still go with his plan if he wants to. We'll have to see what becomes of Orton in the end.
So Frog Hammett legs.
What do you guys think of that?
Strong in our communities will remain strong by our constant support for one another.
What do you guys think about that?
With that said, with G. Play. Glenilla, your numbers are 4.
You guys have an opinion on that?
Good luck, Glenilla. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from if you are the chosen.
Do you guys have any interest in seeing Riddle versus Orton?
Numbers are 7, 7, 6, Good
You know,
luck,
again, unless
There
it's
are
to
some
see
amazing
Orton
and
absolutely
fun
starch
rewards to
Riddle.
choose from if you are the choice, skipping the rest. Is Orton back?
No, Orton's not back
I
yet,
don't
no.
remember the last time I saw
He
him.
is not back yet. He's been gone a while because of that back injury.
Okay.
But my question is, do you care to see a program between Riddle and Orton? Do you think that would even be worthwhile?
I am one away from the IT Championship.
Holy crap, Glenola. Again? How dare you, sir? Holy jeez, you really are.
Riddle is
7-7-6 the man gets. Good luck beating that, ladies and gentlemen. Good. You know what? If somebody actually gets 7-7-7, I'll give it to you both. I'll give it to you both, because that's amazing to come within one. But I will. If somebody manages to get 7-7-7, I'll give you both a title up.
The new jackpot number for a chance to win a channel.
But anyways, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the show on the go, get things rocking and rolling. That way we can get everybody revved up, ramped up, and ready to rock for the rest of the evening. That way when people drop in, they have matches to watch, and they're not just listening to us talk and staring at a screen. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode number 409 live. Let's go.
Play. Crondos BR, your numbers are 2, 2, 6. Good luck, Crondos BR. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from if you are the chose. Skipping the rest. Superstar. Today, Crondos BR is Little Joey Nightmare. Laid up RN because I messed my back up. Literally just from putting on pants. Superstar. Today, Glenola is Christian Hard.
And here we go. 9 matches of pure fire headed your way. The road, the long journey to the Archiverse second annual Slammiversary stream preview begins tonight for the WCW roster. And boy, oh boy, are we going to see some epic in-ring action tonight. We're going to get things started with the first match of the night here in just a moment, but I do have to get the betting lines open because Glenola has already opened the betting lines for the entire evening just a few moments ago, so I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of here in just a moment. But our first match of the evening is a trip to the tag team division, and it is the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and the Phenom, The Undertaker, taking on Bret the Hitman Hart, and of course, the Iceman, Christian Hart from Team Christian Cool. First match of the night. Give me a moment, let me set the betting lines up. In the meantime, what do you guys think? Who's taking this one? Who's walking out with the W? Is it going to be the Brothers of Destruction or the Hart Foundation?
How's everyone else doing?
All right, it'll just be a few more moments. I think from now on, actually, when I'm flying solo on the broadcast, I'm actually not going to do betting lines until the championship rounds. That's going to be a rule from now on, because this is far too much dead air time and lack of entertainment for anybody as I'm sitting here trying to set up a betting line. So who walks out with the W? Is it going to be the Brothers of Destruction? Of course, it's going to make me put just Brothers of Destruction, apparently. or the Hart Foundation?
On the Brothers of Destruction, but I am going for the Brother Destruction.
You got 5 minutes to make your bets. And there we go. Betting lines are open, and it is officially showtime and go time for the first match of the evening. The Brothers of Destruction versus the Hart Foundation. Let's go. All right, and back to the dirt sheets we go. Yo, Soul Embers, welcome in, buddy. Golden Gamer, I see you. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome in. Episode number 409, baby. WCW Starrcade, we're getting that road to the second annual Large River Slammiversary underway for Vinny K's roster. Let's see what they've got in store for us tonight. All right, so back to the dirt sheets we go here. Well, looks like we have some backstage reactions to Colt Cabana's AEW return talk on CM Punk and WWE as well. WrestlingHeadlines.com, Mark Middleton. Says several people within AEW are reportedly happy that Colt Cabana is back. Wednesday's AEW Dynamite saw Cabana make his return for a loss to ROH World Champion Chris Jericho. A new report from Fightful Select notes that many people were in support of Cabana being back in the fold as of last night's match. There was said to be natural inquisition as to Cabana's return, possibly reinforcing the long-standing rumor that Cabana was removed from AEW TV because of his former friend CM Punk. Whether it was directly requested by Punk or not, which Punk has, of course, denied. Before Cabana's recent absence, word was that he seemed incredibly happy and had been helpful producing AEW matches for months before he left. There have been rumors on Punk possibly working with WWE again once he's done with AEW, but there's also been talk that WWE won't work with Punk again, and nothing has been confirmed. Never's too strong of a word, you can never say never, but WrestleVotes noted today that people in WWE took notice of Cabana's return, and Fightful adds that Cabana's AEW return seemed like a huge signal to people in WWE that if Punk wasn't finished with AEW before, he would be now. A WWE source familiar with Punk and Cabana said they'd be shocked if the two could ever work together again. A WWE source also said that they haven't heard anything even resembling an update on the relationship between Punk and WWE, and they wouldn't feel comfortable officially reaching out to him considering the situation. There have been rumors on a buyout of Punk's contract, but legally there could be no talks between Punk and WWE until whatever non-compete clause he has is over. And of course there's no word yet on if Cabana is back in action for AEW on a permanent basis or a long-term basis. I guess apparently that is up in the air. Now, do you guys like Colt Cabana? Are you guys Colt Cabana fans? Do we have any Colt Cabana fans in the Glolo says, Archer, unless it's a Wolfpack match, go ahead and ignore the betting lines tonight. Well, no, I'm not going to do that, buddy. You already paid for them. We're going to go ahead and open those bad boys up. I'm just making note that when I'm on the broadcast by myself, it just takes too much extra time sometimes. I mean, sometimes I can keep things going, but other times, like, you know, and when I got to, because as you know, my dashboard is my handheld device, right? So I have to switch screens all the time. It just takes up a bit of my time. It's a lot easier when I have a co-host, right, on board with me, because they can keep people entertained or busy doing whatever it is they're going to be doing for the evening while I do that. But it's all good. We're going to get it done. Well, I mean, you never know. People might want to bet on the match. People have already bet on the first match, right? So we're just going to let it go for tonight. I'm just in the future. That's what I'm going to do. The only time I'll open the betting lines is in the championship rounds if I happen to be by myself. Yeah, that's okay, Glenola. We hope you rest up and feel better tomorrow. It can't rain all the time. As a wise man once said, Glenola. Who was that wise man, Glenola? Who said that? It can't rain all the time. But anyways, do you guys like Colt Cabana? And Glenola says, I'm betting on Brothers of Destruction, but I'm going for the Brothers of Destruction. Well, that's a lot better than, you know... Yeah, I mean, if it was Boss Apollo, he would say, I'm betting on the Brothers of Destruction, but I really want, you know, whoever the other team happens to be to win. The Hearts in this case. And Glenola says, Eric Draven, I believe. Indeed, you are correct. Eric Draven said it can't rain all the time. And he is correct. That is a fact. All right.
He's in off the tag. And tag. He's in now. Finally.
Jeff Jarrett apparently commented on signing with AEW. It's Wrestling Inc. And it is by Dominic D'Angelo. So it says Jeff Jarrett is having an unprecedented year in pro wrestling, and it just garnered even more momentum as he has officially joined Tony Khan's AEW. The WWE Hall of Famer shocked the wrestling world last night on AEW Dynamite, surprising a pillar in Darby Allin with a guitar shot. Jarrett then proceeded to put the AEW roster on notice, saying that he plans to preserve the legacy his family has created in the business. On screen, Jarrett has aligned himself with Jay Lethal's faction, but it was after Dynamite that Khan revealed Jarrett will have additional duties behind the scenes. Khan expressed his excitement for Jarrett being the new Director of Business Development, as he'll help expand and enhance live events along with Raphael Morphy and Chris Harrington. Jarrett took to Twitter afterwards to express his own excitement for the new opportunity. He said, really looking forward to things to come, both in front of and behind the camera. He tweeted, it was just earlier this year that Jeff Jarrett was hired to be the WWE's Senior VP of Live Events for WWE, but exited the company not long after Vince McMahon retired from WWE. Road Dogg, Brian James, a mutual friend of Jarrett and Triple H's, was hired for the position. Jarrett has been in nearly every major promotion in 2022 in an on-screen role, and in addition to his AEW debut last night, he made a surprise appearance in AAA Lucha Libre. He was the special guest referee for the WWE Tag Team title match at SummerSlam, and perhaps most notably teamed up with Lethal to face Ric Flair and Andrade El Idolo in Ric Flair's last match. And that's all there is regarding that, apparently. Now, what did you guys think of Jeff Jarrett debuting for AEW? Golden Gamer, I've been good. How you been? Boss Apollo. I'm betting for the Brothers of Destruction, but I'm going for the Hart Foundation. Of course you are, sir. Of course you are. So how you doing tonight, Boss Apollo? What's new and exciting? DC, what's going on, DC?
Yeah, they've stuck it out through this match, but it wouldn't hurt to go for the tag soon here.
Just chilling, watching your amazing show. With the Fam Jam, episode 409 live. Congratulations, Team Froggy Mothlegs, on setting a new arch. Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, we should be discussing that. So, Team Froggy Mothleg. Well, let's start off by first saying that it was actually Team Joe Link that first broke a record that had been long-standing since the Archerverse 1.0 many, many moons ago. And we actually had two records. One was set by the OG Kurt Jordan, one was set by Robert Rage. Robert Rage had a victory in 14 seconds. The OG Kurt Jordan had a victory in 12 seconds. All these months later, Joe Link, now we are in the Archerverse 3.0, and he smashed both records. Smashed both records. One by 5 seconds and another by 3 seconds. Joe Link defeated, Joe Link's client, the phenomenal Joe Lincoln, defeated Vader by submission in 9 seconds. Today at the YTD Academy, Dukester, a.k.a. Poindexter, had a matchup. In that matchup, he scored a victory over the Greek god Papadon for the YTD Academy European Wrestling Championship in 8 seconds. 8 seconds. Now, if you look at the grander picture, you had a Wolfpack member facing a new Wolfpack member with a Wolfpack leader in the corner. Now, I'm not implying anything, but many are saying that they believe that they simply let Dukester have that championship. It was a reward for many months of hard work, leadership and loyalty. When he went over to start the expansion of the Wolfpack over on Wrestle Wars. But that said, I do bring you, and by doing so, that was also a title defense, and they made sure that title stayed within the Wolfpack, didn't they? Right? So there's that. Now, those aren't my words. These are just things people are saying. I don't know. I do say it is hella suspect. But what I do say is Team Froggy Mothlegs and the Dukester, a.k.a. Poindexter, has a new Archerverse record and has defeated an opponent by pinfall in 8 seconds. No, Glenola, there are many saying it. The masses trending worldwide on all the major social media platforms. DC says, okay, I better lurk and do my homework. Yes, homework is more important. School comes first. Education before pleasure. Unless it's sex, then the education can wait. Gold Gamer says, I had a 2.543 second beat that. I mean, that would be impossible. That would be impossible. Glenola points at Distinct Cone's homework. That's right, Glenola, you tell her. Get your ass back to the desk and do your homework. Boss says, pretty good, just having a bad day, but I will talk to you tomorrow about it. All right, sounds good, buddy. Jeez, you're having a bad day. Glenola's having a bad day. The King of Norway is having a bad day. The King of England having a bad day. President of the United States having a bad day. They all just need to come to the Archerverse TV and have a great time, and they will find that they're doing much, much better in life. Froggy says, hope it melted out for you soon, boss. DC says, Froggy Mothlegs, thank you. And Froggy called her a pussy. That's weird. DC says, Glenola. Froggy mellows out. Froggy, are you stoned? How dare you? How dare you come into the chat room stoned? And call DC a pussy, by the way. That's not appropriate. Why is Kevin Owens coming out? Why is Kevin Owens coming out and aiding in any way, shape, or form the Hart Foundation? As a member of the coalition, that is unacceptable. Now, unless he just wants to have a beef with The Undertaker, that's acceptable. But, I mean, if this is about aiding and abetting the Hart Foundation, I do not approve. I do not approve. Today, Boss Apollo is... Wow, look at that. Bret the Hitman Hart has tapped out The Undertaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match by submission, led by Team Christian Cool, the Iceman Christian Hart, the excellence of execution, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Bret the Hitman Hart. They are the Hart Foundation, and they are your victors. And I'll get the payout issued for that. Just give me uno momento, or maybe I'll shut them off and not issue it at all. That's possible too. Oopsie. Give me a moment. There we go. All right. Hart Foundation were the victors, and the payout. Oh, look at that. It gives me the option to make sure I actually want to choose instead of choosing the wrong. Interesting. That's new. That's cool. And there you go. Payout has been issued.
Christian Hart and Bret the Hitman Hart, the Hart Foundation. And teamwork makes the dream work in this tag team.
All right, on to the next match of the night, ladies and germs. All right, next match of the night. I think almost everybody, one of everybody's favorite tag teams from both the Archivers 1.0 and 2.0. They were gone for a hot spell. Pursuing ventures outside the business, are now back in the squared circle. The Rage Brothers, Robert and Ryan Rage, the Scorpion, and the Eagle from Team TV Crips are back flying high together again. And tonight, they look to continue their success since they re-debuting against the Steiner Brothers. And of course, I'm sure they would love to get back to the Archiverse Slammiversary. They were at the first Archiverse Slammiversary. I'm sure they would like to be at the second annual Slammiversary this year. And defeating the Steiner Brothers is one hell of a way to get that pass started. Both teams looking to get back into the title picture. Both teams looking to get to Slammiversary. And of course, a win over each other would definitely set either team in the right direction. But what do you guys think? Who's walking out with the W here? Is it going to be the Rage Brothers, the New Age Outlaws, or is it going to be the Steiner Brothers? I can open the betting lines right now.
Steiner Archer, MOG Bow and Arrow, MOG Hard Suit.
All right, there we go. 5 minutes to make your bets. Betting lines are open, and it is showtime and go time for matchup number 2. The New Age Outlaws versus the Steiner Brothers. Let's go.
Better get ready.
All right, so let me just catch up with the chat. See what's crack-a-lacking. Wouldn't want to ignore DC. Steiner Archer.
The following contest is
Golden Gamer is voting for the Steiner Brothers.
on the way to the ring at a combined weight of 400.
Froggy Mothleg says, man, a hot dog sounds good. I'm sorry, did somebody mention a hot dog?
Oftentimes with teams, you know one member is better than the other. These are two superstars who are equally...
Kane just stood and walked. Yeah, I know, right? You want to talk conspiracy? Well, I mean, conspiracy seems to be the word for the day, Froggy Mothlegs. I mean, you did see the match between Dukester and the Greek god Papadon, right? You saw that match, right? I mean, I can bring that match up for you. I mean, we can all watch it together, you know? Conspiracy doesn't get much more interesting than it does when it comes to anything involving the Wolfpack. Specifically speaking, the Wolfpack Wrestle Wars. And even more specifically, Ephraim and Poindexter, and whatever they decide they're going to call themselves for the week. This week it is the Dukester and E. Storm Shadow. But they have been many things. Doc Brown, Marty McFly, Buzz-Off and He-Man. I mean, they've been so many different things. Joker and, he was the Riddler. Penguin Dexter. I mean, it is really quite ridiculous. And we've spoken about this many times before. But, let me tell you something. The merchandise is flying off the shelves. And I'll be honest, I did giggle when I saw Team Froggy Mothlegs bra line. Very interesting. A strapless bra line at that. I did wonder how those worked. Froggy, could you explain that, by the way? I did always wonder how a strapless bra works. I'm sure it'd be a lot more comfortable with no strap, but how does that work exactly? How does that work? Tell us, Froggy Mothlegs. But anyways, Boss Apollo, if you decide you change your mind, you want to hop on the broadcast and have a bit of a good time and forget the day gone by, feel free to do so. You do have that power. Sometimes it just takes the right people, right, to tweak that day and make that day just a little bit better. Turn that frown upside down. Get the electricity flowing, the blood pumping. We partner with Gorilla Glue. Nice. I don't think that's how it works, Froggy. I don't think you're holding it together with glue. But that's interesting. Considering, I've definitely wondered, if your entire team sniffs glue, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, I'll be honest. It really does. Dark Magic. Well, you're probably getting a little closer there. My God, man, you don't know how you created your own product? You can't explain the dynamics behind the design? I mean, what is wrong with you? Mister, I have the professor on my team. He's so great with numbers. He knows everything.
Are you surprised, Byron?
Oh, look at this. What's happening here? We got... Who was that? The Dukester. What?
I'm not in development.
Wait a minute. Wait. Why is the Dukester got a beef with Rick Steiner?
Into the corner now.
Why did Froggy Mothlegs? Why? Yes, speak of the devil, he's sure to appear. Did you do that? Did you do that shit? What is Rick Steiner? What is Froggy Moth? What do you guys have to do with Rick Steiner? Or has this got to do with the Rage Brothers? I don't know. This is strange. The Dukester. From Wrestle Wars, by the way. Happens to be part of the Wolfpack, though. Just goes to prove how uncontrollable the entire fleet is. And I do say fleet because I'm not quite sure they're human. They're like a bunch of moving vessels that like to destroy things. But that is very interesting. The Dukester coming out and interfering in the Steiner Brothers matchup. Now the question is does this have to do with the Rage Brothers, or does this have to do with the Steiner Brothers? Motivations are complicated things. Maybe you're trying to mess someone over. Maybe you're just helping a friend. Well, that's what I mean. I don't know which of the two is the, answer. I mean, is he there because he would like to help out the Rage Brothers, or is he there because he would really like to just fuck up the Steiner Brothers? I mean, it really could go either way. It really could go either way. Gamer, what do you think? Do you not find that hella suspicious there? Like, what? I mean, he's either there actually, either way, he's there for his own benefit, because either he wants to pick a fight with the Steiners, or he would like, I don't know, to maybe recruit the Rage Brothers. I don't know. Rage Brothers have all. Oh, I can't see it. I don't see the Rage Brothers joining the Wolfpack.
Dismantling the arm in the corner. Gotta hurt.
It is suspicious, boss, because it makes you wonder what is the Wolfpack's plan tonight, and what other interference and interruptions are we gonna have to witness tonight?
Right now from all those chants and cheers.
Yes, tag. Right in there. Here's the cover for the win.
Hey, well, anyways, back to the dirt sheets. Interesting article by Wrestling Inc. and it's Manny Vega.
Evades their offense.
And the title of the article is The Origins of Chris Jericho's Bizarre New Japan Gimmick Super Liger. Alright, so Chris Jericho has earned a reputation as a master of reinvention. Introducing multiple compelling character twists over a legendary 32-year career. But there's at least one Jericho alter ego that he'd probably prefer to forget. The infamous Super Liger persona that he donned for one ill-fated match against Surly Koji Kanemoto on January 4th of 1997. As Jericho explained in his best-selling autobiography, A Lion's Tale, Super Liger resulted from the WWE long-standing partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. One day, he received a call from Brad Ranigans, the Hall of Fame wrestler working as a liaison between WCW and NJPW, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling. Asking for Jericho's measurements, Ranigan explained that Jericho would be debuting at New Japan Pro Wrestling's big annual Tokyo Dome show as the costumed Super Liger, the evil doppelganger of the popular Jushin Thunder Liger. The promotion had previous success with characters like Black Tiger, a nemesis of the famous anime-inspired wrestler Tiger Mask. For this reason, it made sense to introduce a dark rival for the colorful Jushin Liger. However, Super Liger's debut seemed cursed from the start. Super Liger was abandoned after a bad debut match. So in his book, Jericho explained several challenges: a tight, restrictive costume that felt like wearing a body cast, a horn mask that limited his peripheral vision, and a lack of chemistry with an uncooperative Kanemoto, who Jericho suspected didn't want any part of the match.
And this might not have a pleasant ending.
So the result was a dud of a performance that earned crickets from the Tokyo Dome crowd, whose only reaction was laughter when Jericho botched his patented springboard dropkick. Super Liger was immediately abandoned. Unfortunately for Jericho, he would have an opportunity to redeem himself on a return tour later that same month. Competing under his own name, he impressed New Japan Pro Wrestling officials with much stronger performances, including several matches against Jushin Liger himself. Via CageMatch.net, he would be invited back many times over the coming years and notably made a big return to New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2018. Wrestling legend Riki Koshu put it best in a backstage conversation that Jericho recalled on his Talk is Jericho podcast. Chris Jericho, very good. Super Liger, very bad. I don't think I've ever seen that match, I'll be honest. Does anybody else see that match? Is anybody else familiar with the match with Super Liger and Jushin Thunder Liger? Boss is 36 away from the channel redemption. Nice, so Glenola and Boss might be the first winners in over a week.
It's been a struggle for these competitors to find.
Fantastique. Way to go, Boss Apollo.
Every move you make, you hear this capacity crowd following you on that journey.
He's on his heels a bit now. Yeah, they stuck it out through this match, but it wouldn't hurt to go for the tag soon here.
Froggy says, I don't presume to know the inner workings of a mind like that, but I suspect he's helping out a fellow cosplayer. I mean, that's your 411. That is ghastly. All right. Boss said very suspicious. Golden Gamer said demon killer. Gold Gamer, I redeem. Archer gives me 1 cent. I don't think so. Froggy Mothlick says, I didn't see any New Japan Pro Wrestling until after 2010. Okay, well then I guess you have not then. So that makes 2 of us. But now I'm going to have to watch that match. Now I'm going to have to watch that match. Might have to watch that match in Discord. Might have to watch that match after the Archerverse goes off the air. Who knows? But that's intriguing to me. And I'm a little bit of a loss that I actually haven't seen that match. Anybody else watch New Japan Pro Wrestling? I mean, I know Glenola does not, so we can leave him out of the equation, but
He went right into that turnbuckle, turning the tables.
Military press.
me personally, I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. I've watched it not as religiously as other wrestling shows, obviously, but I've watched it on and off for years. You know, they've always, and I'll tell you, their Wrestle Kingdom show, which is their equivalent to WrestleMania, is absolutely stellar. Joe Lang says, I have only seen a handful of matches. That's about it. Froggy says, far be it from me to imply anything. Boss says, I don't. You want me to say Steiner keyed Dexter's Lexus? Because someone did, but naming names is currently inappropriate. Oh, that's what this is about. You're accusing. So let me get this straight. Team Froggy Mothlegs is accusing the Steiner brothers of keying Poindexter's Lexus. Do I have that right? That's what you're saying. You're accusing the Steiners of keying Poindexter's Lexus. Golden Gamer says, yo, Joe Link, the GOAT. Giving you some high praise in the presence of the host of the most must-see show on Twitch TV at the late night place to be that has become the very best in fantasy wrestling excellence, bar none, period. Golden Gamer, how dare you? Froggy, AKO him. Do it. But someone fucked up his car, and he's confronting Rick. Like, is he confronting Rick Ghastly? Is he confronting Rick the Model Martel? Rick Rude? Rick Flair? I mean, I could go on. That is not the right command. Froggy, how dare you? You should AKO yourself when you're done that. The one and only Dabs is the true GOAT. This is true. Dabs is the GOAT. A wee bit of a shout out for Sir Joe Link. Here, we'll give him a good one. There we go. If anybody wants to follow Sir Joe Link, you can now do so. He's a variety streamer. He likes to stream knitting, playing the harp. He's a big fan of, cosplay. And on occasion, he likes to stream a little bit of, midget porn. So if you're a fan of all those things, make sure you jump on over, smash his follow button. That way when he goes live, you can watch him dance around a pole. Froggy Mothlegs has been timed for 60 seconds. Yeah, it doesn't. You just can't do it. I mean, I'm literally the only person that can ban you, time you out, or any other thing under the sun. Sterling says only when Cool's here. Glenola says the Archiverse best wrestling verse. Good God, that's a tongue twister. The Archiverse best wrestling verse. That's a crazy name. That's almost more ghastly than Archer Appreciation. Wow, the Steiners did it. Holy shit, the returning Rage Brothers. And they returned with an absolute... I mean, it was a killer matchup, and they won in great fashion. But tonight, apparently, the Steiner brothers just a little too much. And Rick and Scott Steiner have defeated the New Age Outlaws for a big win as they continue their journey towards the second annual Slammiversary stream preview. That is crazy. All right, let me issue the payout for that.
The new jackpot number for a chance to win a channel redemption of which is 005. The number to win a YTV championship match is 7.
All right, so the victors were the Steiner brothers. And the payout has been issued. All right, on to the next match of the night.
Just wanted a great seat for the match.
And again, it's a trip to the tag team division. It is the British Bulldogs, the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith taking on Eddie D. Terror and Demon Razor. And it looks like their boy, Bishop B. White, coming out in tow to support his boys. The Public Enemy versus the British Bulldogs. Who you got with this one? Talk to me. Who do you got with this one? I'm going to go ahead and guess that Boss is actually rooting for the Public Enemy, his team. You know, he doesn't want to let his boys down, but he is going to bet on the British Bulldogs. Do I have that right, Boss? Does that sound a bit right? And there you guys go. The betting lines are open, so you have 5 minutes to make your bets. Boss says Public Enemy. Yes, you say Public Enemy, but who are you betting on? You voiced your opinion. You have on live television said that you believe the Public Enemy are going to win, but who are you putting your money on?
But I'm being on Public Enemy.
Joe Link says the Bulldogs. Froggy says I'm rooting for the Bulldogs, but I'm being the you're not betting, you're being on the Public Enemy. I mean, I don't know if that was supposed to say peeing on the Public Enemy or I'm being like the Public Enemy. But it's funny either way, so I'm okay with what it says. And we're just going to, look past it and move forward. Because I'm being the Public Enemy sounds pretty funny. And of course, Team Froggy Mothlegs, Poindexter in particular, I mean, they're great at cosplay, so who's to say they won't show up dressed as the Public Enemy? One never knows. Expect the unexpected. Glona says, peeing on the Public Enemy. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, why would he pee on the Public Enemy? I mean, I don't think that's appropriate behavior. Glenola, I think you need to have a bit more of a chit-chat with your extended team. You know, they're up to some crazy things. They're apparently keying their own vehicles and blaming people. And then getting beat up by the people that, And then Froggy Mothlegs is talking about peeing on people. I mean, that's not. I mean, that is public indecency at best. Archer Dex and Ephraim O'Graves. No, we're gonna have Severn Dex. Severn Dex and and Ephraim
Superstar and become
the Machine
superstar each
War.
visit.
E-War Machine. Alright, anyways. Here we go. Next match of the night. Betting lines are still open. You have time to make some bets. Who do you think is going to win? The Bulldogs or the Public Enemy? We're going to find out right now. It is showtime and go time. Let's go.
E-War Machine sounds badass. CDIX would be awesome.
Froggy says E-War Machine sounds badass, and Glanola says CDIX would be awesome. Oh, of course he would say that. I mean, I don't know why I put those things out there. Archer should know better than to give ideas, right? Get that auto driving bike.
The tension building for this match is so thick you can
I mean, I assume you mean an e-bike. An e-bike for E-Storm Shadow.
Here comes trouble.
All right, anyway, so we did submit it. I'm going to get back to the betting lines. I'm just finishing getting caught up with the chat here. I'm pretty much already there. Oh, actually, no, there's nothing. I thought there was other messages under Froggy, so I guess I am caught up. So let's get back to the dirt sheets and see what's happening, what's crack-a-lacking. So here's an interesting article, again by Wrestling Inc., and it is by Hunter Crates. It says, why these pro wrestling dream matches probably would have been terrible. And this is actually from this year, so... discussing pro wrestling dream matches is even more popular than debating the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling. This is the next Lex Luger, an entertainment medium that can get pretty routine. How many times did Triple H fight Undertaker? For the last time ever. The excitement seeing a bout we never thought would ever happen ignites our imaginations. Let's be honest, many pro wrestling dream matches would have been terrible. Maybe the wrestlers' styles would have clashed. Maybe the one guy was well past his prime, or maybe the match could never have compared with our fantasies. We won't debate unrealistic dream matches between two superstars in their primes. So sorry, no Gorgeous George versus Ric Flair or Andre the Giant versus Big Show. But matches that could have happened between guys who were active at the same time, some of these matches allegedly almost happened. Others never stood a chance, but we believe all probably would have been bad. Looking for the 7 stars from Dave Meltzer. Look elsewhere. Here's why these pro wrestling dream matches probably would have been terrible. First is Hulk Hogan versus John Cena. So Vince McMahon's default booking strategy is conquering babyface, usually with an all-American good guy getting taken out by a bad guy only to come back to save the day. So basically Rocky IV. McMahon built his WWE empire using this strategy with Hulk Hogan and has tried to replicate it ever since, despite a brief but highly profitable detour into Attitude Era anti-heroism with Stone Cold and The Rock. McMahon finally found his Hogan heir apparent with John Cena. Now, while Hogan told youngsters to say your prayers and eat your vitamins, Cena preached the gospel of hustle, loyalty, and respect. The conquering babyface is a great act with the right guy and sold lots of yellow do-rags and sparkly spinner belts. However, make no mistake, a match between the two would have been the worst. Hulk Hogan's last WWE match was a Legend versus Legend Killer mid-card match at SummerSlam 2006 with Hogan vanquishing Randy Orton. The night's main event was Edge versus Cena for the WWE Championship, showing who the real star was. Cena was not the worker he'd become, while Hogan was on his literal last legs, so we'd get a slow-paced punch fest until Hogan finally passed the torch. he no longer carried away anyways, and for which he would demand Cena return the honors. Yes, the crowd would have been molten, but past his prime, Hogan versus a lime green Cena would have had us saying our prayers for it to end. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about a dream match between Hulk Hogan and John Cena? Do tell.
Here he comes off the tag.
And down with the suplex. Going right after the neck. Neckbreaker.
DC says, it's Friday, 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 gotta get drunk on Friday. Froggy says, I like your version, DC. Welcome back, DC. Glenola says, DC says, Froggy, fuck yourself. Joe Link says, Alan Severn should join the cosplay again and come out as Mr. Wolf, kind of. What Hogan did when he was Mr. America. That would be pretty damn funny, actually. That would be awesome, Joe. DC says, Glenola, I'm still doing homework. Just realized I have Friday. So only 11 and a half hours to go to party time, and telling Froggy to fist himself. Glenola says there is a plan for Wolfman's next cosplay. Joe Link says, oh, nice. Thanks, Froggy Mothlegs. And it would be interesting. Froggy Mothlegs says they make a good point. Beginning of a career, Cena versus end of a career Hogan wouldn't be great. No. I'm not entirely sure they ever would have had a good match. You know? DC says, I don't know, Archer, if he can wait around 12 and a half hours, I might do it. Nice. I mean, I'd be down for that, DC. I would be down for that.
Definitely not where you want to be right now. Just carry.
But what do you guys think? Joe Link, Boss Apollo, Glenola, John Cena versus Hulk Hogan. Sound off.
And finds a counter. Oh, God, what an elbow.
British Bulldog is tagged in.
DC, even you know who Hulk Hogan and John Cena is. What do you think? Do you think they would ever have a good match together? Do you think there's a point in time during their careers that they would have had a good match together? Joe Link says, I'd watch John versus Hulk. I mean, I would watch it. That's not the question. My question isn't would we watch it. We would all mark out like little babies heading towards that candy store where we know we're going to get that favorite candy of the day. I mean, we know it. We know this. Now, would we like it? Would it be a good match? Would we enjoy the match? Probably not. That's what I'm thinking. Absolutely, we would all watch it. It'd be like a traditional wrestling match, mostly just a punching. Well, yeah, it would be a lot of unorthodox, methodical. I mean, it would not be a good match. But that's the problem, though, is I'm not too sure they ever would have had a good match. I don't know. Peak of their careers, I think they would have a good match. The issue would be who fan favorites would make it hard for the crowd to choose sides. Yeah. Well, I guess if you're talking Cena in his prime and Hogan in his prime brought together, maybe, because Cena, when he got into his prime, actually started to wrestle pretty good, and he's always been as strong as a bull. He was a bodybuilder, and he's, you know, the face of the company. So, and then if you take Hulk Hogan in his prime, also strong as an ox, you know, pretty agile when he was younger. He moved around a hell of a lot better. When he was really young, when he was still wrestling as Terry Bollea and appearing in Rocky as Thunderlips, etc., he was actually... he used to do suplexes and power slams, and I mean he did a lot of very good. He did a good body of work as a wrestler when he was younger. Just as he got older, he just transformed into something else and just really never. I mean, it became, you know, kick, punch, leg drop. But Froggy says, I would like to see their promos. Oh, yeah, the promos. The vignettes would be awesome. The vignettes would be awesome. We would be treated to some great promos. And you got to know that John Cena is going to come out on top of that one. You know, no way Hogan's beating him in a promo.
He's got the answer for that one. Counter after counter. Each superstar trying to stay a step ahead. Oh, and Bulldog fights back. He's taking some good hits. Beautiful swinging neck breaker.
All right, so I'm going to move on to the next person on the list here in just a moment. But as it is, and again, I don't have a co-host tonight, but I do have to use the facilities just the same as I would if I had a co-host. So I'm going to be taking a short break. Enjoy the match while I'm gone, and when I get back, as soon as I'm back, we'll get right back into that list. I shall not be long. Froggy, Glenola, Joe Link, Boss Apollo, you're all in charge of telling jokes while I'm gone.
Countered it just in time. Look out. Hits him with the counter. Oh, smash. Counters. Stop. Emphatically. Here he goes for the win. Then he closing out. He keeps his team in the match. It's been a hardship for these superstars to get to this point. I think these fans are driving them to claw that extra inch. You can sense the ride these fans have been on, and I'm right there with them. Just breaking down the opponent.
To see a contest of champions from each respective brand, simply type
He deflects it right back.
WCW
Tag made, fresh man in.
LTD into the chat. How do you stop a rhino from charging?
And that one misses the mark.
The coalition.
Left hook in the mush. Great counter. Look at this, going counter for counter. Rolling elbow finds its mark. Ouch. He eludes the contact. Oh my God. Looking to lock it in. He breaks it up. I don't know how much longer his partner could have lasted. This could be.
People almost enough time to steal the patent so only Tesla's work at approved stations.
And picks up a monumental victory. Well, this is one matchup that lived up to its billing and then some.
Oh no, what Glenn said. Hey, did you know trucks have ears? Thanks to engineers.
Here are your winners, the Public Enemy.
Two great superstars that go great together, and that win is proof. Two minds working as one in the ring to create magic. It is a beautiful thing to witness, gentlemen.
What do you call it when a British policeman gets pinned in a wrestling match? Answer: a bobby pin. Lol.
I have returned. Sorry about the delay. And I see I have missed the matchup. And the winners of the match were the Public Enemy. Big win for the Public Enemy going forward as we head towards Slammiversary. Let me just catch up on chat real quick, and I'll, of course, issue the payout for the last match.
Welcome back, Archer.
Let's see here. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I disagree. Hogan had a way with the mic. He did have a way with the microphone. I don't think he would outdo Cena, though. Joke 1, Elijah Archer. How dare you, sir? That is ghastly. Also not funny. Foggy Mothlegs, how do you stop a rhino from charging? Joke number 2, the Coalition. Also not funny. How dare you? Take away his credit card. Froggy Mothleg says, give Elon Musk enough time to steal the patent so only Tesla works at approved stations. Alrighty then. I mean, what Glenn said.
Why doesn't CM Punk take money to buy?
Hey, did you know trucks have ears? Thanks to engineers. Oh my good God. Alright, I'm never asking you guys to tell jokes again. That is absolutely horrific. Ghastly. What do you call it when a British policeman gets pinned in a wrestling match? Answer: a bobby pin. Oh my God. Stop it. Froggy, that is not funny. Do not entertain that. Froggy says, why doesn't CM Punk take money to bars? He keeps being given shots. Now that was funny. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh my God. The other ones though, not funny. Not even a little bit. Ghastly. All right, let me go ahead and issue the payout for the last match. And the winners were the Public Enemy over the British Bulldogs. Big win for the Public Enemy. Congratulations to Team Boss Apollo and, of course, Team Leo the King, by the way. And there you go. The payout has been issued. And I'll get the betting line open for this match. All right, so who walks out with the W? Now, this is, of course, a non-title bout for Team Dedrick and the man called Drek, being challenged by the Great One. The People's Champion, The Rock, would like a piece of Drek. Of course, Drek never backs down from a fight, so here we are. Perhaps, who knows, the beginning of a new feud and rivalry. One never knows. But who do you guys think is walking out with the W? Is it going to be The Rock? Or is it going to be Drek from Team Dogface? As always, 5 minutes to make your bets. And there we go. Betting lines are open. And I'll get back to that list here in a second. Let me go ahead and get this matchup started, though. Again, next match of the evening, The Rock versus Drek. Falls count anywhere. Let's go. All right, so the next on that list is Roddy Piper versus CM Punk. I know Glenola's excited about that. He loves hearing about CM Punk. So what Roddy Piper was to Portland, CM Punk is to Chicago. However, Piper and Punk had more in common than just the devotion of the fan base in their home base. Both were great workers with excellent pipe bomb skills who succeeded in other venues. Though Piper's film career was slightly more impressive than Punk's UFC career, and while both guys were big stars, neither was happy about playing second fiddle to their respective eras. Biggest stars, Hogan and Cena. So instead of fighting, Piper and Punk probably would have rather shared a beer or a Pepsi, since Punk is straight edge. However, we'd want to see them fight. They theoretically could have in the 2000s, as Piper continued to wrestle into the 2010s. While Punk made his debut in 2006 for WWE, famously, Piper rarely jobbed, but he might have passed the torch to Punk a la his bout versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 8. However, WWE's booking philosophy tends to be making legends look unbeatable against current stars. Heck, that was Heath Slater's gimmick. We bet Piper would have quickly squashed the newbie Punk for a cheap nostalgia pop. Sure, we would have marked out too, but it'd be a far cry from the epic dream match these two could have delivered in their primes. All right, what do you guys think of that? Do you think Roddy Piper and CM Punk in their primes would have delivered a good match together? What do you think about that? Why did Vince McMahon cross the road? Glenola says the writer has their heads up their ass if they think BM Punk was even close to Piper's level. Well, I'm in 100% agreement, of course, with Glenola. And there's a nice, good look at the brand new WCW World Championship. Look at that puppy sparkle. A beautiful new title. Currently held by the man called Drek from Team Dogface. Well, technically from Team Dedrick, but they represent Team Dogface. They are straight out of the doghouse.
Ever since I took my spot here at the commentary table, I have wanted to call.
Jolix says answer, he didn't. He tore both quads stepping off the curb. Oh my God. CM Punk versus Piper would be entertaining. Piper would win though. Yeah, I think CM, you know what? So the vignettes and the promos, I mean, they would have been absolutely epic, and I'd almost be willing to bet we would have got a Piper's Pit, right? We probably would have got a Piper's Pit, and that would have been a lot of fun. I mean, the potential there, right? The question, though, is, as entertaining as that would be, even in their primes, would they have had a good wrestling match together? What do you think about that? What do you think about the potential of them having a good wrestling match together? It says Punk would bitch and whine until he was allowed to win. Piper's Pit with Punk would be cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think Piper's Pit would be more entertaining than the... I gotta be honest, I think the Piper's Pit and I think everything they did on the microphone would be more entertaining than what they eventually did in the ring. I think. I don't know. I don't think they would have had a terrible match, but it wouldn't have been anything, you know, to take home to mama about or anything. Nothing to write home about. But anyways,
some superstars are understandably hesitant to exploit the
Froggy Mothleg says that's probably right. Yeah, I think so.
This is the kind of match where you need to,
because Roddy Piper was never what you would call a stellar wrestler. He was a good wrestler and he was entertaining. And CM Punk, although gifted technically, again, he's very slow and methodical, and I feel like he oversells everything, and I've seen him. It's funny when we talk about people that botch things. Why is it that CM Punk never gets called out for botching things? The man botches shit all the time. The man botches shit all the time. How many times have you seen him botch a GTS? You know what I mean? Like, that's just one thing that's happened a lot. There's others, believe me. You know, I'm not saying that he's a bad wrestler. You know, never minded watching him perform in the ring. Was he my favorite? No. Would I change the channel to watch him? No, not unless the opponent in the ring was worthwhile to change the channel for. You know, I didn't watch him wrestle Moxley. I had no interest and still have no interest in watching him wrestle Moxley. You know. What the hell? What the hell is Archer doing out there?
Right now, things just got even more interesting than they already were.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Looks like his plans are blowing up in his face.
Oh, look at this. No! Archer, no! What are you doing? And the referee, guys. Look at the referee doing absolutely nothing about it. Wow! Holy shit! Now that I did not see coming. That's crazy. Man just came out here and destroyed The Rock. What in the blue hell?
This one is headed outside, guys.
I mean, I know of no beef or issue between Archer and The Rock. That is insane right there. Drek doesn't get the 3 count. Rock kicks out at 2, but wow, that's insane. Let's see here. Froggy says, what the I know! That's what I'm saying. What the hell is he doing out there? I had no idea he was going to be it. What the hell is he even doing on Starrcade is the better question. Matter of fact, what the hell was Kevin Owens doing on Starrcade? You know, we never really mentioned that earlier. What the hell was Kevin Owens? That is 2 members of the Coalition on Starrcade, both interfering in matches. Matches that aren't even correlated, for that matter. What the hell is going on? He probably would have had 3 if The Rock was on the ring. Maybe, he might have, yeah. Wow, The Rock's still hanging on. Kicked out at 2 again. Drek looks like he's getting a little frustrated. Well, yeah, as you should be. Archer come out here and rocked The Rock. And you can't even put him down for the 3 count. You need to do better, sir. But anyways... Froggy says, giving my client shit. Which client? I mean, Ephraim or Poindexter? Sorry. Dukester or E. Storm Shadow. I mean, I wouldn't want to offend them. I would not want to offend them. I don't need them showing up at my hotel room. Joe Link says the last ride. I know. I was surprised by that too, actually. Well, first of all, I was surprised Archer was even there on Starrcade, interfering and helping Drek, much less delivering a last ride powerbomb. That was crazy. All right. Anyways, back to the list. The next on the list is, and I gotta be honest, and Glenola is probably going to jump out of his chair and be tempted to jump on the broadcast, even just to say something. Wow, The Rock picks up the W. Whoa. Elijah Archer comes out and helps Drek, starches The Rock, and The Rock makes a comeback and beats the WCW World Champion. Now, if that doesn't catapult The Rock to a championship title match, I don't know what else would do it. That is insane. Wow. This night's getting a little crazy. And like I said, I really didn't think about it earlier, but what the hell was Kevin Owens doing here too? We never said much about that. We just said, hey, yo, Kevin Owens is out here, but we never said, wait a minute, Kevin Owens is here. This is Starrcade. What the hell is Kevin Owens doing here? But now Archer's here. Again, nothing correlated, but he's out here. He starches The Rock for whatever reason. And then The Rock, apparently pissed off to high heaven, comes back and beats the WCW World Champion. That's insane. That is insane. Wow. All right, I'm going to get the payout issued for that, and then I'm going to get the next... Then I'm going to get the next part of the article underway, because I know Glenola's going to love this one, because I'm already scratching my head at it. I'm already scratching. As a matter of fact, it's giving me a headache just looking at it, and I haven't even read it yet. Is how weird that this next one is. Because don't forget, this is dream matches that would be terrible. Okay? Okay, so far it hasn't been too bad. You know, not too bad. This one hurts my head. This one couldn't be more wrong. This one is complete and utter blasphemy. As a matter of fact, and I'll get to it in a minute, but I do have betting lines to... I have to finish the betting line and issue the payout. I'm doing that right now. And there we go. So whoever bet on The Rock, if anybody, you might have just got yourself a pretty good payout. And there we go. Betting line has been closed, payout issued, and I am going to open the betting line for the next match of the night. All right, and holy Jesus, God knows what is going to go down in this matchup. I mean, holy hell. I mean, from Kevin Owens and Archer and The Rock beating the world champion, and this night has been crazy. But there's been some absolutely fantastic matchups. I expect no less here. We've got the Mega Powers. The Ultimate Warrior, of course, the newest addition to Hollywood Hogan's group. Macho Man Randy Savage, of course, at his side, and they are taking on the Wolfpack. The Machine War, Carino, Sinister Farmer from Team Cornhush Show, of course, War the Machine from Team Glenola, and also from Team Glenola, or cornered by Team Glenola, the Greek God Papa Don, officially a member of the Wolfpack, and joining them in the battle tonight. And, of course, I'm sure Greek God Papa Don must be very angry that his own teammate now has his European Championship. Right, Glenola? Right, Froggy? That must be the case. He must be just furious, absolutely pissed that, you know, Dukester starched him with one spear for a 1-2-3 to take that championship, right? Because we all know that one spear to the Greek God Papa Don from the Dukester is going to finish him off enough to take his title away from him. The Greek God Did anybody see the Greek God Papa Don's debut match? The matchup immediately following that match? And then the championship matches he won, and then the title defenses that he had, and then suddenly, and I mean, you can go watch these matches, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget that if you happen to be part of the Fam Jam, you know that over at the Shark Tank, over 300 episodes of the Archerverse. Also, you know, in addition, we now have, you know, dark matches from YTD Academy. In those dark matches from YTD Academy, you will find matches from Greek God Papa Don. You will see the beast the man has already slayed since entering the company. And yet we're to believe that the Dukester came running across the ring. Greek God Papa Don didn't even move a muscle, just ate that spear like it was a chocolate bar. And somehow the Dukester gets the 1-2-3 and takes the European Championship away from the Greek God Papa. And, you know, it happens to stay within the Wolfpack, so there's that. All very suspect, though, isn't it? When you look at it from a greater perspective. When you look at it from a different view, point of view, even, if you will. All right, so I'm going to open the... while you think about that, and while Glenola and Froggy Mothlegs try to, you know, deflect and deter you from the facts, I'm going to open the betting line. And who do you guys think is walking out with the W here? It is a 6-man tag to brag elimination matchup. At least is supposed to be. With everything that's already transpired, who knows? Maybe they decided they didn't want to do a tag to brag. Maybe it's just going to be a single fall matchup. Nobody tells me anything, apparently. I don't even know when my own clients are going to be on a show they don't belong to.
I cannot go against my Fav legend.
All right, so who walks out with the W? Is it going to be the Wolfpack? Or is it going to be the Mega Powers? Or the Mega Powers? I mean, the Mega Powers, I understand, are a great parody to the Mega Powers. All right. You have 5 minutes to make your bets. And no, Glenola, I did not leave Mega Powers. How dare you even think? I don't appreciate that thought either.
Right here.
And there we go. Betting lines are officially open. You have 5 minutes to make your bets on whichever team you think is walking out with the W. And it is now showtime and go time. Let's go. Oh, Glenola redeemed YTD Academy Championship opportunity, and it is a rematch between GGP and the Dukester. Wow, geez, never saw that one coming. I mean, that is a complete shocker, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Greek God Papa Don from the Wolfpack is going to re-challenge the Dukester from the Wolfpack for the YTD Academy European Wrestling Championship. I mean, I'm sure that'll draw great ratings, I'm sure. Anyways, the Dukester secretly scouted the Greek God because, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it, Joe? I mean, there's some weird, crazy shit going on here, I think. I don't, and Punisher, welcome to episode number 409, episode of WCW Starrcade, my friend. It is, of course, the beginning of the journey to the second annual Archiver Slammiversary for Vinny K's roster and the WCW roster. And so far, been a great show. There's been a lot of crazy happenings. There's people here that aren't supposed to be here, things that are happening that are just out of the ordinary. And, well, we're about to have one hell of a banger. But how was your day? How was your show? I know you had a show going down. How'd that go? What happened? Tell us what happened.
I'm assuming you're talking to me.
I am. You are Punisher, yes.
It was actually a fairly quick show tonight. I was very surprised. A lot of upsets.
Nice. And what did you have any key matches that you can tell us about? Like, what was let's say, what were the top three for the, there's always the mid-card main event, and then the co-main event, and the main event. What were your top threes?
My top three for tonight, I'd have to say, would be the Hardy Boys versus Owen Hart, and then Davey Boy Smith did some tag team matches tonight. They pretty much stole the show tonight.
Owen Hart and Davey Boy. Okay, who won that match?
Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation won it. Damn, I'm gonna have to go watch that. That's a good match. I like that. So okay, and what was next?
Everybody put a lot of blood on the line on that one. I'll tell you that right now. It was insane.
No doubt. I mean, that sounds like a banger, a slobber knocker, if you will.
There really wasn't much of a. That was pretty much match of the night.
That was the match of the night. Oh, okay. What was the co-main?
My main event this evening was a returning match from Money in the Bank, Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys.
Oh, okay, I see.
They couldn't contain their rivalry inside the ring, so I'm going to have to put them in a special match because it ended in a draw. And we just can't have that.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. I mean, there is times when you're watching a match and it's a really long match and both teams have given it their all, and suddenly it ends in a draw. You almost don't mind, but there's just those times where it just wasn't over. It wasn't done yet, and suddenly it ends in a draw or in a disqualification or something like that. It's like, no, fuck.
Yeah, it was highly depressing.
Yeah, it can be.
A second close match of the night was Cody Rhodes versus DDP tonight.
Cody Rhodes versus DDP, nice. And how'd that go?
DDP surprised Cody Rhodes with a diamond cutter out of nowhere.
Did he?
Took the pin.
Well, I mean, that's not really I don't think that's really much of a surprise, though. I think DDP would do exactly that. I think Cody Rhodes would be whooping that ass most of the match, and then suddenly DDP would turn the tides, have a bit of a burst, and then drop that cutter out of nowhere and score the 3 and shock the audience. I think that's exactly what would happen. At least one match. Like if they were to have a best of 3, Rhodes is winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in one match, in a one-off match for a nostalgic pop, oh, hell yeah, DDP's getting an ass whip, and then he's going to make a short comeback in the last couple minutes of the match, and boom, Diamond Cutter, bam, done.
Yes,
and people would be pissed.
Yeah,
and the funny thing about it is they'd all be cheering him as he came out and cheering him in the hype leading up to the match. But as soon as he beat Cody Rhodes, that'd be all she wrote. He'd be done for the next 2 weeks. But
oh, no doubt. There was one surprise for tonight. Eddie Guerrero made Ming tap tonight.
Did he? Eddie Guerrero did. Oh man, did he lie, cheat, and steal to do it, or was it a nice, clean victory?
It was clean. I was kind of disappointed.
Wow.
I was disappointed. I wanted to see shenanigans.
Froggy Mothlike says, "Punisher."
What up, Froggy? Thank you for the follow, by the way.
All right, so here we go. The Mega Powers got a big match against the Wolfpack tonight. I mean, the Wolfpack, and this is a 6-man matchup. So it is a non-title matchup. The Wolfpack are not defending their WCW Tag Team Championships tonight. But we do have some exciting championship matters. They are actually championship matters. But we do have some excellent championship wrestling matches scheduled for later in the evening. So as much as it would have been fun to watch these guys battle it over for the WCW World Tag Team Championships, the Wolfpack have been busy defending those titles for several weeks, and they're getting a night off in title defenses. They refuse to take a night off, so they are, in fact, wrestling a match, as you will see in just a few moments, but non-title, purely competitive, well, except for the Mega Powers. I mean, if they're able to defeat the Wolfpack, that would certainly... It would be hard to keep them out of the title position at that, wouldn't it? The title discussions.
Yeah, that's a lot of beef I'm looking at right now.
That is.
Experience.
Right? The Wolfpack, formidable, powerful, dominant, but they don't have the experience that those 3 gentlemen have. You know, it'll be interesting to see if they can deal with the unorthodox behaviors and antics and...
I'm just kind of curious on who's going to get more ring time. You know, are they going to use Macho's stamina in order to, you know...
I feel like that's what they should do, right? I mean, if you're going to beat the Wolfpack...
Victory with Ultimate Warrior doing that 30-second bullshit.
Right? Yeah, we don't want that. I feel like they should go with Randy Macho Man Savage and just like you said, utilize him for his stamina, get him out there. He can make those quick tags, get Hogan in for the power shots and the slams. You know, tag the Warrior in to run rampant, deliver some clotheslines and maybe even an ultimate splash, and then get Macho Man back in there to finish the match off.
Yeah, that WCW title is spicy looking.
That is the new WCW World Tag Team Championship.
Extremely shiny.
Earlier, you got a good shot of the new WCW World Championship. I redesigned that as well. Of course, the man called Drek is the current holder of that championship. But we got a great view of that earlier tonight. It's a very sexy new title itself.
Why does Farmer do this shit? Why?
Farmer is a creepy son of a bitch, that's why. And we do not ask Farmer questions, mostly because nobody really wants to talk to him in person, for that matter. I mean... How the hell War of the Machine and Severn and the Wolfpack manage this guy, or if they do it all, I don't really know. Maybe they just chain him up at home. That's probably the best way to go, personally, I would think. I mean, it's been long discussed whether or not he's a cannibal. I mean, nobody really knows a lot about Farmer. I mean, he claims to be from the Garden of Eden, right? Which is, by the way, the Garden of Eden... Tell me if I'm wrong. The Garden of Eden, a location, yes?
I mean, like, if you're...
I mean, technically speaking, hypothetically, it's a location. Even fictionally, if you will, it is a location.
Yes.
All right, so next on his list is a cornfield from the Garden of Eden, also a location, yes?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so next he says, from parts unknown in a cornfield from the Garden of Eden. Now, if you've already given the location, how the hell could it be parts unknown?
Well, because if you really want to get in the weeds,
other than the fact that technically we don't
exist.
Well, I was just going to say there's that, or we don't really technically know the location of the Garden of Eden. But when you put it all together, it just sounds so weird, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, they had to, I guess the Garden of Eden could have been partially, farmland of corn, considering they couldn't eat from, apple of knowledge and all that stuff. But fuck that up.
DC taking a short break from her homework. Welcome back, DC. Appreciate you. Make sure you get that. Make sure you get that homework done, though. If you fail a test, do not blame us. Well, you can blame Punisher, just don't blame me.
Don't you fucking dare.
Well, she gotta blame somebody. She's not blaming me.
Get a mirror.
Yes, there you go. Blame thyself. There you go.
I get blamed.
Or on occasion, Joe Link's wife likes to pop into the chat, and she always says that we should really think about blaming Joe Link for most things. So we could, at this given point, actually utilize that and just, for the rest of the evening, hashtag blame Joe Link. I mean, if his wife says, I mean, who the hell wants to argue with a woman? Do you want to argue with a woman? I don't want to argue with a woman. I live with a woman. I don't want to argue with her either. I do not want to argue with a woman. And plus, do you ever really win an argument with a woman? Do you really ever win an argument with a woman?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Wow.
Hey, all it takes is a couple of, Kit Kats and some food, and I'm off the hook.
I want to see you replay this conversation for her.
Oh, I tell it to her face.
Good God. And you're alive.
Oh, see me in
Good grief.
See, okay.
My neck of the woods. If you pull some shit like that, you want to sleep with one eye open.
Okay.
You want to sleep with one eye open.
I want you to understand something. I've known my wife since she was 11 years old, and she's.
Oh, you guys were friends in public school.
And I know a lot of people kind of look at me weird when I say this, but my sister-in-law, I married her little sister. So it's not really we're related. I don't want to make it sound that way. I know everyone's like, don't you think it's weird? No, it's not weird. We are in no way related. My older brother married her older sister.
Gotcha. And you guys kind of met that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 7 years separating us, so...
I got 9 years between me and my missus.
And me and her have known each other since she was in high school through my brother. And then after my first divorce, we reconnected.
The hell is Froggy going on about here?
I don't know, but...
And the Garden of Eden was closed by an angel on the Lord, forever hidden from the wickedness of man. The angel wielded a sword of fire and darkness, proclaiming death for those that care. Those that dare near.
For those that care.
Well,
What a way to bust out the Old Testament.
I mean, I guess. I was just going to say, do we just say, preach, Froggy?
Yeah.
Preach it. Or do we say,
Brother
what?
Froggy. That's your new nickname, Brother Froggy.
Brother Froggy. The farmer tends to garden no longer. It's rot spreads amongst the world. Revelations 99:4.
Now we're going to the end of the world.
We just went from the Old Testament right to the fucking end of the world. See, now that's the problem with the Wolfpack, is they're always skipping the middle section, right? They just go from 0 to 100, and the hell with the repercussions and circumstances. But isn't that crazy to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like, That's almost like reading the first page of a book and then automatically going straight to the end. And
Yeah, that's kind of what they do all the time. I mean,
in the middle.
mind you, their pages are but they're all misconstrued, anyways. I mean, have you seen the Wrestle Wars extended version of the Wolfpack? I mean, they're dressing up in cosplay left and right.
Yes.
We've had Penguin Dexter, we've had Riddle Dexter, we've had Marty McFly.
We got a Bane.
We've had Bane. Well, that's War of the Machine, but
he looks like a splitting image of Bane. Not gonna lie. The best way you possibly can.
Ooh, Hogan with a nasty shot to the kidneys. But anyways, I mean, Carino Farmer himself. I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of cosplay that is, but that is weird what he wears too.
Farmer looks like I'm a big DC guy, so you talk comics, I'm all for it.
And where the hell did where did Ephraim O'Malley come from? And why he suddenly has like the exact same obsession that Poindexter has?
It's a trend.
It's apparently a Wolfpack trend, that's for sure.
And no kidding. It's like pull names out of a hat, and this is what you're going to be this week. But very interesting.
Oh, Dedrek's in the house. By the way, Drek had a match with The Rock earlier. Dedrek, you missed it. You're a little late to the party. But he was unsuccessful in his campaign against The Rock. It was weird because he was actually having a great match against The Rock, and then for whatever reason Archer showed up, starched The Rock, but when The Rock woke back up, he was pissed off like a ticking time bomb and ended up beating Drek. Non-title, of course, but it was a very strange match. And we still don't know what the hell Archer was doing there. Hell, we're still trying to figure out what the hell Kevin Owens was doing there. 2 members of the Coalition on Starrcade. Or, well, at least the Coalition Wrestle Wars. Froggy says I spoke too soon. I'm shocked Hulk is even here after what I saw happen to him in Dog's Discord. All right, so Glenola, are you still here? I assume he is, but because I'm going to get to that next part of the list, and you really got to hear this. All right, you got to hear this. Again, this Punisher. Wait until you hear this blasphemy. So,
what's the list for tonight?
Well, this wasn't a list. It was just an article I was checking out, and it just happens to be, well, it is a list, but wasn't meant to be type of thing. And it is quite literally dream matches that would have been terrible. Now, up until now, not too bad. You know, they had Roddy Piper and Punk, and there were some other people, but this next one, complete blasphemy, does not belong on the list. I don't even understand how it would get there, because if we're talking in their primes, there's no way they would have had a bad wrestling match, and not to mention the fun that would have been had on the microphone would have been absolutely sensational. But listen to this. So again, this is supposed to be dream matches that would have been terrible. And again, up until now, not too bad. But listen to this blasphemy. So the next on my list is Jake the Snake Roberts versus Randy Orton. Now you tell me how 2 of the very best in the business from their eras, fantastic in the ring, amazing on the microphone, the size, the look, the talent. Can somebody explain to me how it is even remotely possible that Jake the Snake Roberts who was arguably one of the original total package wrestlers, way ahead of his time, and Randy Orton would have ever had a bad match together. Ever! You know, except for when he was old, fat, and out of shape. We're not talking about that, though. We're talking Jake the Snake, you know, from the 90s, you know, feuding with Undertaker and Macho Man and Steve Austin. Jake the Snake, the Visionary, the OG total package. And Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, the Viper.
That doesn't make sense.
Does not make sense at all. But you know what? They do have a little bit of a write-up here. And I'm very interested to see what they have to say, because I'm starting to think maybe they just don't like Jake the Snake and Randy Orton. But we'll see. And then I'm going to... What's that?
Could you kind of imagine, like, the actual build-up and promos to that?
Oh, yeah, like the promos, the vignettes. I mean, everything would have been wicked.
Battle of the Snakes or Battle of the Predators or something.
Yeah, like Glenola said, how would that have been a bad match unless they're talking about Jake the Snake from now? Exactly.
Well, no, that's not fair. Age catches up with all of us.
Froggy says Snake versus Viper. That sells itself. You're damn right. I mean, you know what, man? They would have sold a match like no one else had.
Well,
they would have. You know what? They would have done something special together.
Let's flip the script. I mean, like, why not just have them as a tag team?
Ooh, holy shit! Could you imagine?
That would be the.
Could you imagine
that would probably be the
DDT and the RKO teaming up? Wow!
Like, that is.
Just the thought of that, it makes the hair on my arm stand up a little bit. You know?
I've thought about it. I thought about it having them being a tag team.
Dedrick says the question would be, who would control the match? Oh, Jake the Snake would control the match.
Oh, no doubt.
Jake the Snake would control the match. He was the veteran, right? He was the one with the most, even in their primes, both in their primes. Like,
I'll be back. My son's up.
Yeah, no problem. And to be honest, it probably would have been a back and forth affair. I'm sure they would have collaborated on that together very, very well. I'm telling you, Jake the Snake Roberts and Randy Orton would have done something very special together. At the end of the day, I think Jake the Snake simply would have put Randy Orton over. They probably would have had a series of matches, like I said, you know, and Jake would get a victory for nostalgic pop and fun, and we all would have loved it. And then Randy Orton would have gone on to win the rest of the matches in the rivalry. Glenola says Ryder's head is firmly inserted in ass. He is in dire need of a rectal cranialectomy. Ouch. Froggy says, I bet Randy starts with cheap shots before the match. Jake controls. Randy finally gets the RKO and takes it. Well, not if it's a one-off match. If it's a one-off match, Jake the Snake gets the win on nostalgic pop alone. But it would be a long, grueling match. If they're going to have a series of matches, Jake the Snake wins probably the first or second match, and Randy Orton wins the rest. Wouldn't matter if they had 5. Jake only wins 1. But he would win 1. He would win 1. Because Jake is just awesome. And Jake would want to put Orton over. That would be his main goal for even having that program, would be to put Randy Orton over. And that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Look at the strength of War the Machine. He just picked Hogan up like he weighed nothing at all. That is crazy. Man is near 300 pounds. You know, 6'9", near 300 pounds. War the Machine picks him up like a feather. Crazy. Anyways, let's see what they have to say, because I'm very intrigued. So, it says, well, Randy the Viper Orton is the son of Cowboy Bob Orton. You can see more similarities between Randy and one of his dad's contemporaries, another serpent-inspired performer. Jake the Snake Roberts. Orton became a star as the cocky pretty boy legend killer, but he became a legend himself by playing the same kind of cold-blooded, sadistic psychopath that Roberts perfected in his day. So you'd think a match between the Viper and the Snake would be legendary, right? Maybe in their respective primes. Well, what other... See, that's the problem. Maybe in their respective primes. Well, of course in their primes, you idiot. Anyways. Maybe in their respective primes, but the results would have been downright disastrous when the two could have logically wrestled. By the time Orton arrived in 2002, Roberts' decades of drug and alcohol abuse had done a number on him. Watch the 1999 documentary Beyond the Mat to see what we mean. Orton and Roberts had an altercation on March 14, 2005 episode of Raw, with Orton RKOing Roberts to cement his legend killer persona. It was a good moment for generating heel heat, but that's all it should be, a moment. You can see that physically Roberts was a shell of his former self. He committed himself to rehab a few years later, while Orton was still greener than a garter snake. Put the two together and you'd have about as exciting as watching a python run a marathon. But again, if you took the two in their prime, they would give you a match like you had never seen before. So disregard what he said, because who the hell would say, hey, let's put Orton in a match with an old, out of shape, over the hill Jake the Snake Roberts? Nobody would do that. Nobody would say that. It just makes it's nonsensical to even worry about it. It's neither here nor there. Alright, next on this list, Ric Flair versus MJF. Well, considering MJF is still very green, I mean, is he a future champion? Yes. Is he a future star? If he goes to the WWE, yes. Is he probably going to go to the WWE? Yes, quite likely. He wants to wrestle at WrestleMania. He's made that very clear. How long is it going to be before that happens is going to be the key thing. He can't wait too long. He needs to go while he's still young. But Ric Flair, greatest of all time, not if you ask him. You know, he would tell you that Kurt Hennig, Bret Hart, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat were better than him, but Ric Flair, considered by basically everybody, is the best that ever laced them up, especially on the microphone and able to sell the match, tell a story in the ring. But he always, even now, would wrestle circles around MJF. So I say, oh hell no, that would be a terrible match. Didn't matter what, because it's not like MJF has hit a prime. He's still young and green, right? Ric Flair hasn't been young and green for 1,000 years. You know what I mean? He would wrestle circles quite literally around MJF, even now, in my opinion. What do you think, Punisher?
I think that, I don't know. I never really thought of a match between MJF and Ric Flair.
I know, me neither. It's kind of a weird thing, right?
Like, that's almost like me going against, John Cena. Just
kind of that. It kind of is like that. It really kind of is like that. I mean, MJF is, like, don't get me wrong, MJF, he's pretty good, and he's going to get better, but he is still so green. He's still, he botches things. Even on the microphone, he blunders from time to time. Ric Flair never missed a beat, you know?
Yeah, but my issue with Ric Flair, yes, I understand he's greatest of all time, that's fine. But my thing is, once you've seen one Ric Flair match, at least in my opinion, you've seen them all. Because there was
it just depends on his opponent, really. I think that was more true, like, later in his career. Because if you go watch some of the matches with him and Ricky the Dragon, some of his matches with, Harley Race and people like that, like, those matches were like, you would never find a match that was the same. Now, that's, again, mostly because of the matchups. Styles make matchups. And a lot of the times later in his career, he was fighting people that he pretty much had to fight the same way. I mean, what else do you do with them? But, see, it's one of those things, because you're not wrong. You're not wrong. A lot of the times he wrestled the same match, especially as he got older.
Now with me, if MJF decides to come to the WWE and actually signs a contract, if I were Triple H and manager material, I'd be like, you know what, we're automatically going to stick you with The Miz and just go with it. Impromptu everything. Because that is great TV.
Definitely got to let him unleash. Now, you're going to have to put him on a small leash because, again, he is still green. He's still very young, and he needs to be led a little bit until he can, handle the pressures. Because, like I said, if you go watch any MJF promo, at some points during his promo, it's almost like he starts to lose confidence in his promo skills, and he starts to blunder a bit. He just starts to, and it sometimes is downright awkward to watch.
And I'm definitely not going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
That just comes along with the green.
I try not to shit on MJF really because I actually do like him, and the fact that he's kind of sort of a William Regal protege. That's something they've got to stick with. They need to build that story and push that story because that is certainly solid for his character build and his career to be aligned with William Regal. So I'm really hoping they don't drop the ball and do something stupid with that. Who knows? Because we still don't know his real status with the company, do we? They're keeping that very under, low key. Like, we know he's there till 2023, I believe it is, or early 2024, whatever it is. But I mean, anything can happen.
Right. I'm just kind of, I don't know. When you say dreadful matches, I would never even think of that. That's just me.
See, I don't think they would have a dreadful match together. I just don't think it would be good. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be like they're talking terrible matches. I don't think that MJF has a terrible match in him. But because of, what Ric Flair are we putting in the ring with MJF? Are we talking a young green Ric Flair? Was there such a thing? I don't even know. But
to be fair, I don't even think I was alive when Ric Flair debuted.
Right? The man has been wrestling a long time. So it's just one of those things. I don't know. But let's see what they say here. So he says, the arrogant rich guy has been a pro wrestling staple since Gorgeous George. And by the way, Gorgeous George was phenomenal in the ring too. Such a great character. He was so great at selling a story. You believed each and everything he was doing. He was so good. But there's a reason for that. It works. The only thing fans enjoy more than watching an abrasive A-lister talk smack is watching him get smacked. The Nature Boy Ric Flair owned this role like sequin robe, styling and profiling for multiple promotions, 16 world championships, and an incredible 6 decades. Now, that 6 decades. Wrestled for 6 decades. That is fucked up. But anyways.
I don't even want to think about that.
I know, right? So yeah, 6 decades. Now the part that has been taken up by Maxwell Jacob Friedman, or MJF, who is already one of the best parts of pro wrestling, which he'll remind you of. While MJF, in his mid-20s, Flair hasn't been in his 20s since President Jimmy Carter was in office, and though Flair did his best work in his late 30s and early 40s, he's currently in his 70s. Even if Flair's wrestling his last match, we've heard that before, Rick. At Starrcade 5 in 2022, MJF is young enough to be Flair's grandkid. Heck, if Flair's self-professed prowess is to be believed, MJF may be his grandkid. So a match between the two would be pretty hard to watch. However, while Flair isn't what he once was in the ring, he's still one of the best on the mic. So watching the two duke it out on the stick would be a real dream match. And I do agree with that. I think they would have a lot of fun with each other still on the microphone. But other than that, I don't see it. And again, like Punisher said, it's so much that I don't see it that I never saw it. I never would have thought of that. Ric Flair and MJF, who the hell would have thought of that? Besides this guy, apparently. But what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of potential dream match between MJF and Ric Flair? The Nature Boy. Joe Link says MJF contract expires 2024. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Contract buyouts happen. No, the dirtiest player, Rick. I agree with Dedrick. Rick taught Jacob to wrestle. The biblical one. It's really silly to even consider them fighting now. Yeah, absolutely. I honestly think it could work. I point back to my long post. I got to go back and read it. I hate you right now, Dedrick. I could see Rick going for a low blow and MJF pulling out a cup. The referee taking the cup away. Oh no, MJF has the diamond ring. What the fuck? Punch Rick in the face. Rick down 3, 2, 1, mega heat. Well, maybe. And Drek would also like to see Randy versus DDP.
Battle of
the RKO versus the Diamond Cutter.
Both coming out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
That match could end rather shortly or take forever, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or I know it'd be the most weird situation, but try and figure a way to hit the cutter and the RKO at the same time.
That would be awesome. Could you imagine a double KO?
Like, I don't know.
He hits Randy. Randy hits it. I don't know how that would look either, but that would be phenomenal.
That's why they don't put me on the creative team. Be like, try.
That's why they don't put you. You know, I just realized, unless we missed something, it looks like the Wolfpack are down to 2 members here. We've been so carried away with this list, I didn't even realize that the Mega Powers are actually up 3 members to 2 here. Wow. I mean, unless somebody's on the other side of the ring knocked out. I mean, if somebody wants to, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Or am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Right or am I wrong? Wrong or am I right? Who can tell me? Joe Link, how dare you? How did you not answer this question already? Froggy says, I honestly think it could work. Oh, no, that was Dedrick. Now MJF versus Flair managed star. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. I would love to see Flair manage MJF. That would rock. But, I mean, right now he's kind of correlated and linked to William Regal, and that's just as good. You know? That's just as good. Haven't heard about it yet, but might have missed it while typing. Joling says, honestly, I've been glancing, and I didn't even notice GGP was gone. I know, right? So, at least somebody else is saying that GDP is gone, so they are, in fact, down to... Oh, no, there's GGP right there. What the hell? Where was he? He must have been laid out outside the ring.
Taking a nap, sleeping on the job.
Sleeping on the job. Ghastly.
Just kidding. Well, fines left and right.
Right. All right, so next... Oh, wait, did I finish reading this? I don't think I did. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, so next on the list is Sting versus John Cena. Now, actually, I'm going to have to disagree with this one, too, because I actually think of Prime Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics, versus Sting. How do you go wrong with that match?
Now, are we talking like Crow Sting, Surfer Sting?
I'm talking about Crow Sting. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You could sell that all day long. I mean, tickets would fly.
That show would be sold out in 10 minutes.
Oh, shit. And they would put on a good performance. Sting in his prime. You know, Sting, shortly after TNA, when he started to slowly start to forget things and have issues, you know, not so much anymore. You know, Cena would just simply be carrying him, and we would know this, and we would not like this, therefore I would not want to see this. But, Crow, you know what, though? Punisher, goddammit. Fuck you. You're right. You know what? I actually, you've got me thinking Surfer Sting would have a better match with the Doctor of Thugonomics. Because he wrestled differently.
And the only reason I even bring that up is because when I go back and watch old wrestling, I'm a big fan of going back to like.
That was the best version of Sting, in my opinion.
And then watch the storylines unfold as it went.
Yeah.
And I know that with like everybody remembers the Crow Sting, but if you look how WCW managed Crow Sting, was terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was. I'm surprised that Crow Sting.
They'd come back in like 5 minutes of the match and then take the win.
Are you at all surprised that he never went back to Surfer Sting or something similar to Surfer Sting? I was surprised he stuck with the Crow Sting for so long.
Honestly, I think that the fact that it got so much like I know it's all about numbers, but revenue.
Oh, merchandise flew for it, but I think
you can go back to Surfer Sting after.
Well, maybe not necessarily Surfer Sting, but a similar gimmick, right? I think if he had to come up with a similar gimmick, he could have sold the shit out of it after the hype from the Crow gimmick, right?
See, I think TNA tried to like dabble in that a little bit, especially with Joker.
Well,
Sting.
no, they just tried to turn him into Joker Sting.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was, oh my God. You know how? I mean, it was really hard to watch a lot of that. It was really hard to watch a lot of that, and even it was even hard to watch Dean Ambrose do it. You know what I mean? I didn't enjoy watching Dean Ambrose do it either.
Right. So, in a sense, it would in my personal opinion, it would have to be Surfer Sting because he would put on the better match.
He would definitely put on the better match. Yeah. Let's see what the chat's saying here.
Joker Sting versus Joker O'Malley.
Dedrick says, I'd go with Rock and Roll Sting. Like the build up to the match itself. The build up to the match, it's all Crow Sting. Then big pop when Sting comes out with the surf paint and trunks. It would be a huge pop. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if he was to, I don't know if necessarily bring back the same surfer gimmick, but something similar. I'm telling you, I think he would have been able to sell the shit out of it, but I don't know. He seemed to be really attached to that Crow. You know what? The reason I was never a big fan of it was I wasn't a fan of ripping off the Crow movie. I really wasn't. I wasn't that big of a fan of the Crow gimmick. But I like Sting, therefore I watched it. You know, and I enjoyed moments of it. There was moments of it I enjoyed. I'm not going to sit and tell you I never enjoyed any of it. But I preferred the Surfer. And again, he had way better matches with some of the best talent in the world as Surfer Sting. So, and yes, he fought some big names as the Crow Sting as well, but not nearly to the same level. You can't even compare the two resumes. No. So, Froggy says Joker Sting versus Joker O'Malley. That would be hilarious. And Drek, of course, loved Joker Sting in TNA. See, I didn't like Joker Sting, but I didn't like Dean Ambrose Joker either. But let's see what they say here. It says John Cena whoops. There we go. The goddamn screen kept moving as I was trying to read it. I hate when that happens. John Cena wound up becoming the next Hulk Hogan, but in his early years, he could have been mistaken for a young Sting. With his square jaw, pronounced pecs, and V-shaped upper body, some things never change, as Twitter noticed via Essentially Sports, how similar Cena and Sting still looked in 2021. However, the similarities began to fade as Cena transitioned from vanilla babyface into vanilla ice, becoming the biggest babyface in the business, while Sting remained the Crow in TNA. Make no mistake, Sting versus Cena is a dream match beyond the fact they kind of look alike, as both were top guys and strong workers with charisma to spare. Alas, unlike a lot of former WCW guys, Sting stayed away from the WWE during Cena's rise in the mid-2000s, not arriving until 2014, while Cena was on a hot streak, wrestling younger guys in 2014 and 2015. Since 2010, Sting has worked best in tag matches that can protect his limitations. Maybe Cena could have carried the 50-something Sting to a low-key classic, or more likely, maybe it would have been a sloppy, slow-paced snoozer, or needed a lot of overbooking, a la Sting's match with Triple H. Sting and Cena, well, the match with Triple H was absolutely ghastly. I hate talking about that match, but anyway. Sting and Cena won a tag match on Raw against Seth Rollins and Big Show in 2015, which was one of the best use of both guys. Cena carrying the match, Sting being the hot tag guy. Frankly, we're disappointed we didn't see more of Team SNC. That is not a thing, and I refuse to ever call it that. I refuse to ever call it that. Sorry, Punisher, what'd you say?
My son's still gone there.
Oh, hey, no problem. No problem. Yeah, no worries. Now, the next one on this list I just find damn well funny. And we'll get to it in a moment. I'm just catching back up, see if I've missed anything in the chat. Dedrick says, fun fact. Scott Hall said to Sting, paint your face black and white. I assume that's supposed to be black and white. I assume, yeah. Wow, there it is. That is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. The winners of the match, the Wolfpack. War the Machine, Corino, Sinister Farmer. Hey, wait a minute. I thought this was an elimination match. And Greek God Papa Don. Big victory over the Mega Powers. And I mean, that was a fantastic match, though. You couldn't have asked for a more back-and-forth matchup between two great tag teams and factions that are both looking to advance towards the title picture again and, of course, get themselves etched into that discussion about the second annual Archiverse Slammiversary that is in just a few weeks' time. But a big victory. Look at the blood pouring out of the Greek Papa Don's head. But, yeah, I thought this was an elimination match. What happened to that? I'm confused. But anyways, Froggy Moth Legs says, wow, that was vicious. No one wanted to lose that one. No, that was an absolutely brutal matchup. Absolutely. Continuous back and forth action from bell to bell. I just didn't realize it was single fall. It was supposed to be elimination, I thought. Of course, I clearly thought wrong, so there's that, But anyways, I'll issue the payout for that matchup. Give me one momento. Alright, so the victors of the match, the Wolfpack. And the payout has been issued. And on to the next match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. And this is for the WCW Hardcore Championship. And it is a six-man matchup to get the job done. It is going to be a banger. This is a fatal 6 KO matchup. So the only way to win is by knocking each and every opponent out cold. The winner, the person able to do that out of Bishop B. White from Team Titan G, We have Reese the Voice Williams from Team 3 TV Reese, representing Tons of Funk, of course. We have Vincent Blaze from Team Bad Guys and Gals, or Girls, Bad Guys and Girls. Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. We have the Wolfman, Alan Severn, representing the Wolfpack. And, of course, last but not least, the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW Hardcore Champion. He's already defended that title on one occasion. The Icon, Sting, is here to put his title on the line. Who do you guys think, though, is going to walk out, well, still awake, and hoisting that WCW Hardcore Championship above their heads? Who do you think it's going to be? I'm going to get the betting line open right now. So,
together we will grow strong and our communities will remain strong by our constant support for one another's endeavors. With that said, with.
All right. What is Stream Elements going on about? Thrill Zone Wrestling in the house. Welcome on in, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to episode number 409. It's an episode of WCW Starrcade, as you can see. Or, well, I mean, you see wrestlers. You see a six-man Hardcore Championship matchup. I guess it doesn't see Starrcade. But if you are as big of a fan of the Archiverse as I know you are, you know what show this is, because Wrestle Wars was Wednesday. Now, of course, Starrcade is usually Fridays, but since my schedule changed for the week, I had to, ruffle some feathers, talk with the network execs, pull some strings, get some things done. We helped Vinny K out, and voila, here we are, Thursday night, and it is WCW Starrcade time, and it has been absolutely electrifying all night long. But welcome on in. We appreciate you being here. Thrill Zone Wrestling, an absolute legend. Appreciate you. Can we please get a shout-out for Thrill Zone Wrestling if we have not already? And apparently we have. So thank you very much, Joe Link.
For a chance to win a channel redemption of your choices, 005.
All right, let me get the betting line open, you fiends. So who walks out Hardcore Champion? Is it going to be Bishop B. White? How about Reese the Voice Williams?
Play.
Is it going to be Vincent Blaze?
Good luck, Joe Link. There are some amazing.
What about Seth Rollins? Seth freaking Rollins.
Skipping the rest.
The Wolfman, Alan Severn.
You lose some, lose your LOL.
Or the reigning and defending WCW Hardcore Champion, the Icon Sting.
Numbers are 5, 6, 5. Good luck, Joe Link.
You got 5 minutes to make your bets, as always.
Choose from if you are the chose.
And there we go. Betting lines are open. It is showtime and go time for this fatal 6 KO matchup for the WCW Hardcore Championship. Again, the only way to win the matchup and walk out the Hardcore Champion, knock all your opponents the fuck out. It is go time. Let's go. And back to our list. Actually, I'll catch up with chat just in case I've missed anything. Then we'll get back to our list. Joe Link says, Team Glenola, I believe that the Outlaws would whoop that ass, stop a mud hole, walk it dry, and leaving the Wolfpack lay and lie in the middle of the squared circle if they were to ever do battle. Joe Link, that's mighty presumptuous, but I dig the vibes, my friend. And look at you, you betting fiend. There's no match to bet on other than the one that we just opened, and you're playing slots elsewhere. Ghastly. Today Joe Link is Riddle. That is ghastly. Sorry about your damn luck. Joe Link says, I would like to trade who I am. No kidding. Right? I would too. Thrill Zone Wrestling says, the voice is my choice. The voice, the serenading voice of the host with the most. Tis I am your guy. Or as Dogface would say, oi oi, boy! Can I trade who I am today? No, you cannot. Matter of fact, I gotta find out who I am. If I'm Ruby Soho, I am banning Joe Link. You hear that, Joe Link? I'm going to ban you if I am Ruby Soho. I am sick of being Ruby Soho.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Superstar.
God damn it!
Today, the Archer versus Ruby
Son of a bitch bastard.
Soho.
Again, Ruby Soho. What is wrong? Why am I always Ruby Soho? I mean, no offense, men. I don't actually like Ruby Soho, but I do not want to be Ruby Soho.
Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 200.
It is not funny. That is not funny.
Today, Deirdre.
There is nothing funny about that. How dare you laugh at that? Dedrick, that is not funny.
Hi, Ruby, I guess I am.
Joe Link, that is not funny. Froggy Mothlegs, that is not funny.
There's nothing delusional about
Superstar
this
switch
man.
up.
Seth Rollins has
Want
earned
to become
everything.
someone else
It
for
just
the day?
happens that
Hi, Ruby. I guess I am Matt Riddle.
Superstar and become a different superstar each day you visit.
He's won the Royal
I'd like to take my high heel shoe off and whack you with it.
Ruby Soho.
Used to feed off the energy of the WWE.
Archer wants to be Ruby Soho. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, sir. And even if you're not talking, you're typing. You keep your fingers still when typing to me at all times, sir. Thank you.
Okay, back to homework. Lab.
Yes, DC, get that homework done. How dare you avoid homework to be here? But we appreciate that. We really do, though. In all honesty, we really do. All right. Back to the list. So next on the list, this one makes me giggle, actually, just a little bit, because I do imagine this actually happening, and I don't know. But the Ultimate Warrior,
from New York,
you hearing me on this one? Are you with me so far? The Ultimate Warrior,
Ed Archer.
right? Contender number one, the Ultimate Warrior, versus Bill Goldberg.
And I don't remember the last time the champ was in
The Ultimate Warrior versus Goldberg. Sound off. What do you guys think about that?
change his hands.
I think I heard.
But Archer, you said it was okay as long as I had sex. Fair point. I mean, if you're having sex and watching the Archerverse, I am totally down with that. I am totally down with that. I am honored to be in the presence of sexual activity. All right.
He's been waiting a very long time
Well,
for this
since
title
Warrior
opportunity.
is dead, it
Well,
would-
since Warrior is dead, it would be a bad match.
It would take longer for Warrior.
Yeah, well, you know, there's that. But I'm pretty sure they're not talking about now, Glenn. I'm just saying. I don't think they're talking about now. It would take longer for Warrior to paint his face than to have that match.
TAB. WCW or YTD into the chat. Warrior versus Goldberg on not really match would be really short.
Dedrick says, I'm the head of the table because I'm so oozy. Oh, good God. He used the term oozy. Not a fan of oozy.
from every
Warrior versus Goldberg. Oh, but not really match would be really short. Yeah. Now here's a question. Who wins? Ultimate Warrior or Goldberg? I say Warrior.
Match so long.
I say the Ultimate Warrior would absolutely be booked over top of Goldberg. What do you guys think?
You don't have to worry about winning. You just have to make sure.
What are your thoughts? Tell me what you're thinking.
Champion's advantage.
You must have a thought. You must be thinking something. Come on, let her go. Let it rip. Let's go. Sound off. How dare you be silent? Anyways, I'm going to read to see what they have to say because I'm very intrigued. So Bill Goldberg and Jim, the Ultimate Warrior Hellwig, who changed his name to Warrior, were former athletes in other sports. Goldberg in football, Warrior in bodybuilding, who became huge stars in pro wrestling. While each guy lacked the usual key ingredients of superstardom, work rate and mic skills, they both more than made up for with the kind of raw, feral, pure intensity of a guy who looks like he could beat you up because he 110% could. Both also saw their superstardom peak after beating Hulk Hogan for a world title. Warrior at WrestleMania 6 and Goldberg on Monday Nitro 1998.
From the response on social media
That in itself is a weird comparison, isn't it? You're trying to compare a title match
tonight.
at the grandest stage of them all WrestleMania, the show of shows, to a title match on an episode of Nitro that would not have been written well, I mean, see, that in itself I have an issue with. But anyway, it was after the latter victory that a match between the two would have made the most sense. And since Goldberg was growing his undefeated streak while Warrior became his brief run in WCW. However, Warrior was there for one reason: to give Hogan back his victory from WrestleMania 6 more than 8 years earlier. Nobody could accuse Hogan of being impatient after Warrior did so in a stinker of a match at Halloween Havoc. He was gone. Why didn't WCW do Goldberg versus Warrior? Because WCW Warrior versus Goldberg would have been more especially bad than epic, as neither guy could go longer than 2 minutes. Well, I mean, that is still longer than Christian Hart, is it not? That is still longer than Christian Hart.
When did Bishop's hair not be white? Oh, he dyed it between.
So yeah, neither could last longer than 2 minutes. Frankly, Warrior versus Goldberg would have made Goldberg versus Brock look like Steamboat versus Flair. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, and you know, he should smash his own head off a wall about 20,000 times very hard for even considering or coming close to putting Goldberg and Brock in the same room as Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Absolutely ghastly. Ghastly, I say. Yo, Sir Jack, what's going on, my friend? Welcome in. Appreciate you for being here. Welcome to episode number 409, my friend. WCW Starrcade, well underway. WCW Hardcore Championship matchup. It is a fatal 6 KO. This match could go very quickly, by the way. Don't blink, or you might miss it all. Because it is a fatal 6 KO. They're in there to do one thing, and one thing only, that is knock each other out one by one and walk out with the WCW Hardcore Championship. Alright, so let's see what everybody's saying about Goldberg and Warrior. Glenola says, throughout this list they have used current condition to say it would be a bad... I know. Exactly. You're right, Glenola. They're doing exactly that. Joe Link says, would be some stiff wrestling. Goldberg hands down. Nah, the Ultimate Warrior would beat Goldberg. At their primes, I think it would be a fun match to watch. Yeah, in their primes, I think it would be a fun match to watch, as a matter of fact. In their primes. I still think they would book Warrior to beat Goldberg, though. I really do think that. Joe Link says, I say Warrior also because of the legend status and his popularity. Joe Link says, they're saying after beating Hogan, their careers didn't go much of anywhere, is what I think the author thinks. Yeah, you're right about that. Froggy says, when did Bishop's hair not be white? Oh, he dyed it because camera cuts. What? What, Froggy? Are you even... What? When did Bishop's hair not be white? Oh, I get it. Okay, never mind. That is not funny, Froggy. Take your webbed foot and stick it straight up your candy ass and break it off. All right, Sir Jack. Did Sir Jack get a shout-out yet? I wasn't paying attention. I was reading a list. I'm going back. I'm looking. That's too far back. I don't think Sir Jack got a shout-out yet. Glenola? That is not funny, Glenola. Yeah, you got to shout it. Okay, you got to shout it. All right. All right, well, I got my cords cut. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Glenola patched the cord. Wait, what is going on here? What is going on here? Christian Cool. Somebody ban Christian Cool, please. Man simply here just trying to steal ideas and figure out how to stream himself. We do not need that happening. Ban him. All right. Anyways, back to the list. So, no, wait a minute. We have to read the Bill Goldberg and Ultimate Warrior bit first. Oh, no, we already did. Never mind. So, next on the list is actually Andre the Giant versus The Undertaker. Says, in Vince McMahon's WWE, there are the guys, huge stars who Vince builds the brand around. Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Cena. But who he usually maintains a love-hate relationship with. Then there are also the bosses, locker room leaders, and special attractions that Vince forms long-lasting friendships with. Among those, none were bigger, literally or figuratively, than Andre the Giant and The Undertaker. It's no shocker. Wow, Sting has been eliminated? Or Bishop B. White, or they both got eliminated. What the hell just happened? Did they both just get eliminated? Did the champion and Bishop B. White just get eliminated? I think they did. That's crazy. What is even happening right now? Froggy says, not a joke, came in with black hair and it turned white as Severn came in. Well, I mean, Froggy, remember when Moses saw God and his hair turned white? I mean, we all realize it's figuratively speaking, and really, the Wolfman is just a god in his own head, but... You know, you have chia pets, and then you have color-changing head people. And that's going to be a new thing now, color-changing head people. We're going to make millions off of selling the bobbleheads for those. But anyway, yo, Girly Girl, welcome in. What's going on? Welcome in to the show. Welcome to episode number 409. Girly Girl, what is new and exciting? And did we get a shout out for Girly Girl? Girly Girl is Mick Foley. Of course you are Mick Foley. You know why you're Mick Foley? Because I'm Ruby fucking Soho. Because I am Ruby fucking Soho. Again. I'm just going to give up playing. Ghastly. Anyways. So while The Undertaker made his WWE debut in 1991 when Andre was still on the roster, the two never faced off in what would have been one of the biggest torch-passing matches ever. While Andre famously didn't like other big guys, he did like Undertaker and seemingly wanted the match. As Undertaker revealed to Pastor Ed Young, I'd come in and say, hey boss, how you doing today? He'd say, good. You know, one day, kid, me and you, I have this idea. And while we would have been excited to see the spectacle of Andre versus The Undertaker, there's no denying it would have stunk. Andre was broken down by that point, while Undertaker always struggled carrying big men. For instance, see his match versus the Giant Gonzalez. An example, actually don't. And yes, it is hard to lead other big men because if they're not as gifted, they're just simply not as gifted. You can't lead. I mean, you can lead a horse to water. You can't force it to drink. You know. All right. Next on the list. Well, actually, first of all, what do you guys think about Andre the Giant versus The Undertaker? What do you guys think about Andre the Giant versus The Undertaker? Is that something you guys would have liked to have seen?
been great.
I mean, personally, I think I would have liked to have seen it. I think it would have been great too. I disagree. I don't think it would have stunk. I mean, Andre was well, what he described before that, and still having, you know, pretty good spectacles, if you will. With P, I think the Undertaker, I think he and Andre the Giant would have had a very good match together. I think it would have been mostly a brawling session, you know.
What was the number?
Probably would have been a lot of outside the ring and being slammed into barricades and headbutts and a lot of other things, but it would have been fun. It would have been fun. It wouldn't have been a great match, no, but it would have been a fun match. You know what I mean? It would have been a fun match. Yeah, that's true too, Dedrick. Dedrick's not wrong there. Wait a minute, Sting is in the match still? Sting is in the match still?
It would have been a lot of Taker trying to take Andre down for a bit.
I thought for sure Sting got eliminated. I mean, am I the only one that thought Sting got eliminated?
Speaking of 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, Bellagio got close on the lotto.
How close? I'm having a look-see right now. 7-7-3. Yeah, but Glenola got 7-7-6, Joe Link. Or Froggy, I mean. Glenola got 7-7-6. So you got to get 7-7-7, unfortunately. Or, right, get 7-7-8 and tie Glenola.
Chance to win a channel redemption of your choices. 005, the number to win a Raw TV championship matches.
7-7-8 is the only number besides 7-7-7 that can get you anywhere. Wow, there it is. That is it. That is all. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match by knockout and new WCW Hardcore Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, burned it down and is your new WCW Hardcore Champion. All right, let me go ahead and issue the payout for that before we get back to our list here.
What a turn of events. One reign ends and another begins.
Honestly, Michael, there is no way I can think to describe this other than...
So the winner of the match, Seth freaking Rollins, your new WCW Hardcore Champion. Payout has been issued. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the championship rounds. And on to the mid-card main event we go. And in the mid-card main event, the WCW Women's United States Championship on the line. And if you haven't had a chance yet to see the new WCW Women's United States Championship, you're going to see it up close and personal tonight. It is a gorgeous new championship belt. But look at the villainy here. We, of course, have Victoria Grimm, the original Warrior Princess. She calls herself the OG Warrior Princess, taking on Carmella. And, of course, the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW Women's United States Champion, Alice Blade, representing the new millennia. Former YTD Academy Tag Team Wrestling Champions. And they are formidable tag team wrestlers and singles competitors. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. But who do you guys think is walking out the United States Champion? All right, so is it going to be Victoria Grimm, Carmella, and remember, Mella is money, ladies and gentlemen, so you may want to put your bet there. You never know. I mean, or is it going to be the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW Women's United States Champion, Alice Blade? 5 minutes to make your bets. And there we go. Betting lines are open. And it is showtime and go time for the first matchup of the championship rounds. It is the mid-card main event time. Let's go. All right, and back to our list. All right, so next on the list is NWO versus DX. And of course, I'm going to definitely want your opinions on this or your thoughts on the matter, so go ahead and sound off while I go ahead and read what they've got going on here. I don't know. I mean, if we're just talking Nash, Hall, and Hogan versus X-Pac, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, I'm sorry, but DX wins that. In their primes, DX wins that. But anyways, the New World Order and D-Generation X were the two most dominant factions of the 1990s and two of the most popular ever. While the NWO had teenagers daydreaming about spray painting people's backs, DX had preteens telling teachers to suck it. Yeah, they actually did. I can attest to that. But anyways, okay, we're not saying they're good role models, but their anti-authoritarianism was super over. Both factions are so similar because they reflected the creative impulses of the clique. NWO reflected Kevin Nash and Scott Hall's outlaw mentalities, while DX displayed Shawn Michaels and Triple H's juvenile sense of humor. Fans sort of got to see the NWO versus DX at WrestleMania 31, but that was for the nostalgia pop. As bad and kind of sad as watching a bunch of 50-somethings act like degenerates was, then we think an actual match could have been much worse. The most logical time for it to take place would have been around 2002, when most members were in WWE around the same time. However, Nash and Hall were both broken down physically. Both was coasting on Hulkamania nostalgia. Triple H had lost a step post-quad surgery, and Michaels still had some ring rust from his 4-year hiatus. Could HBK work a miracle and make this match happen? Never doubt HBK, but it would have been a challenge. And I almost agree with that. I don't know. What do you guys think? NWO versus DX. I think that would have been a hard one to pull off. I think it would have been a hard one to pull off. Joe Link says Carmella has an opportunity. Glennola says depends on what incarnation. Well, yeah, absolutely it does. And here she comes. She is the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW Women's United States Champion from Team the Great Whiskey Jack. It's actually the greatest Whiskey Jack. Alice Blade, one half of the new millennia. I think NWO would win, but it would be... Yeah, but which NWO, Joe? Which NWO? Because there's no way Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hogan are beating Trips, HBK, and X-Pac. I mean, if we're adding in other members and mixing it up, maybe. Maybe. But HBK delivers sweet chin music, Triple H delivers the pedigree, and X-Pac Well, he probably gets eliminated first. He probably gets eliminated first, and DX makes a comeback to win.
The one with Macho Man and Sting.
The one with Macho and Sting? Oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Yep, absolutely. I agree with you, Joe Link. DC says, thank you, Froggy. I appreciate you mailing me that wonderful ribbed vibrator that is easily rechargeable via USB. It's quite colorful, and the ribs are quite sensational. So I really appreciate that, Froggy. Froggy, I didn't know you did that kind of thing. I mean, did you create it, or did you buy it and just deliver it to her? But anyways, back to my list. Next on the list is Brock Lesnar versus Batista.
Welcome back to Sting Queen.
Vince McMahon likes his big men, and he got two of the best ever with Brock Lesnar and Dave Batista. Now, despite both men coming onto the main roster in 2002, the two never wrestled except for an OVW match in 2001. It's surreal watching two of the biggest stars ever face off in front of a few dozen fans. Both guys' star power is palpable, and though each had a long way to go, unfortunately, timing was never right. The younger Lesnar was brought in first as the next big thing, and then within less than a year had become world champion and main evented WrestleMania 19. The older Batista developed more slowly, finally main eventing WrestleMania 21 1 year after Brock left. By the time Brock returned in 2012, Batista had gone to Hollywood, returning only for a brief run at WrestleMania 30 before retiring after WrestleMania 35. Even then, their paths didn't cross much, with Brock being too busy ending Undertaker's streak, while Batista was busy putting over Daniel Bryan and The Shield in 2014, a good use of limited time, and Triple H in 2019, who he wanted to be his last opponent. Therefore, the most logical time for the bout would have been between 2003 and 2004. However, Batista was still a green mid-carder, so the match would have been a forgettable big man bout, not the epic dream match that we'd want. And I'd have to agree with that one, to be honest. I mean, I think probably most of us will agree with that. Joe Link says, no, I don't want to see Brock versus Batista. Yeah, why would you want to see that? Froggy says, well, I'm not giving her a competitor's product. DC loves her Froggy vibrator. Likes to jump around in there. All right. Next on the list. And I'm going to disagree with this one too. I think they can make this one work. I think they make this one work. Not only do they make it work, they sell out an entire arena and have to create extra space for more seating. And they make a dirty, dirty pile of money with merchandising. And the promos, at least from one side, would have been fantastic. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bill Goldberg. Goldberg, of course, being the man that was supposed to be WCW's version of Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? So, for late 1990s pro wrestling fans, there's no bigger dream match than Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Goldberg. Heck, even Goldberg said he wished they'd wrestled on Steve Austin's Broken Skull session. Both guys kind of looked alike, which is why your grandma probably thought Stone Cold Steve Goldberg was a wrestler. But more importantly, wait a minute, somebody just got eliminated. Wow, the champion was eliminated. The champion was eliminated. And The Warrior Princess, Violet Grimm, also eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen. No, wait a minute. The champion's eliminated. Alice Blade is the champion. So the winner of the match and still the WCW United States Women's Champion from Team Guys and Bad Girls, Alice Blade, one half of the new millennia, still your United States Champion. It was Carmella that was eliminated right before she tapped out. I mean, that was a great match.
Superstar switch up.
All right, anyways.
To become someone else for the day.
So, let me issue the payout for that real quick before we get back to our list.
Early on that she was going to do anything she had to do in order to get the win in this triple threat. And boy, did that resolve pay off.
Be just a moment. All right, here we go. The winner of the match with a big win over Violet Grimm and Carmella. The reigning defending champion, Alice Blade. And there we go. The payout has been issued. And we'll get the betting lines ready for the co-main event of the evening. And here we go. And the co-main event of the evening is for the WCW Women's World Championship. And we, of course, have the Anomaly, Tia Stevens, representing the Wolfpack from Team Tiliana Pierce, taking on the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW Women's World Champion, the Three Faces of Fear from Team Leo the King, Angel Terror, putting her title on the line. 2 out of 3 falls, guys. Who do you think is walking out the Women's World Champion?
It's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you got the stock market beat. But the man worthwhile is the man who can smile. When his pant outlaws Carmella and Alexa versus the new millennium.
All right, so who's walking out the WCW Women's World Champion? Is it going to be Tia Stevens or Angel Terror? 5 minutes to make your bets. And there we go. Betting lines are officially open. And ladies and germs, it is showtime and go time for the co-main event of the evening for the WCW Women's World Championship. Tia Stevens, Angel Terror. The Anomaly, the Three Faces of Fear. Team Tiliana Pierce, Team Leo the King. Let's go. It is go time. All right, so
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match.
back to our list.
WCW Women's World.
All right, so it was Stone Cold
Introducing the champion
versus Goldberg was the last one we were having a look at. So it goes on to say both guys kind of looked alike, which is why your grandma thought there was a Stone Cold Steve Goldberg. But more importantly, there was the company's biggest stars during one of pro wrestling's most popular periods. Austin was the beer-swigging badass every working man could relate to, while Goldberg was the unstoppable colossus of destruction nobody could relate to. Had the match happened in the 1990s, the star power would have been off the charts, and Austin probably could have carried the Green Goldberg to at least 3 stars. Heck, DDP did at Halloween Havoc 1998. Alas, both guys were in separate companies. Goldberg finally arrived in 2003, one night after Austin's last match. Austin was held together by needles and threads by that point and had to be carried by The Rock. the night before. Meanwhile, Goldberg was never what anybody would consider a solid or even safe worker. Just ask Bret the Hitman Hart. So a broken down Austin versus a sloppy Goldberg who'd only wrestled a few matches in Japan since WCW folded. Would it be more than just an utter disaster? It would have had us fearing for the safety of Stone Cold. Now again, they just keep talking about people that are over the hill. You know what I mean? They're not talking about people in a proper state in their primes. And then even when they do speak of that, it is just simply a passover. It's like, well, it might have been okay in their primes, but nothing. But nothing. We are talking these dream matches of people being in their primes that could deliver the spectacle. That is it. That is all. We're not talking out of shape and over the hill. At all. Not what we have in mind, right? Alright, so next on the list, well, actually, first and foremost, what do you guys think about Goldberg and Austin? Do you think, would you guys have liked to see them wrestle in their prime in the 90s? YTD Dark Match, Outlaws, Carmella, and Alexa versus the New Millennia. Interesting. That's an interesting tag team. I like it. You realize they're part of the same faction, but they really haven't tagged before.
You can see it in everyone's eyes. They all want this
It would have been
championship.
great to see Goldberg versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, especially in the 1990s when it made the most sense. They were both in great condition and able to wrestle fantastic matches. You know, they probably could have easily had a 3.5 star match and probably wrestled 15-20 minutes and put on a spectacle.
If that's their way of playing mind games, that title should give anyone the right to gloat. Look, what good is it
The new
being on top of the
jackpot
mountain
number for
if
a
you don't
chance
look
to
down
win
on
a
everybody
channel
else?
redemption of your choices. 005. The number to win a YTD championship matches 7.
Alright, let's see here.
Uh-oh, no, don't do this.
Clola said it's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you got the stock market beat, but the man worthwhile is the man who can smile with when his pants are too tight in the seat. I mean, have you been watching Fandango wrestle again, Glenola? Anyways, Alice wins. Damn quick work. Yeah, that actually was a pretty quick matchup. Foggy says, could have been really good. Definitely sell out arenas. Yeah, Stone Cold versus Goldberg definitely would have sold out. Definitely would have sold out. Not even an if, and, or but about that.
Strong knee connects.
So I'll get back to the list here.
Nasty headbutt.
So next on the list is Sting versus Undertaker. Now before I get started, I know everybody's going to want to say something, so go ahead and sound off. What do you think, Sting versus Undertaker?
Uh-oh. Oh, God, that hurt.
It seems like a silly question, really, but
Turning the tables there.
That's some top tier darkness.
She had it scouted. Waistlock. No. Belly to belly.
I would have loved to see that match.
all right, I'm just going to pull the dashboard back up. I was still on the article here.
Some of the best characters.
Could have been really good. Definitely sell at arenas. That's some top tier darkness. I would have loved to see that match. Two of the best characters ever. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, I don't know a single I literally don't know anybody personally that would not want to watch Undertaker versus Sting. Now, I mean, not now, but I mean at an appropriate time. You know, it should have been Sting versus Undertaker when it was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. That's when we should have saw. Imagine the match we would have got. The matches probably. It probably wouldn't have been just a one-off. But if you go back to when Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were putting on clinics at WrestleMania and you put Sting in there instead, now it wouldn't have been as good as a wrestling match as it was with Shawn Michaels, but it would have been just as entertaining. Right? Just on hype alone, it would have been a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Just on hype alone, it would have been a tremendous time. All right, so anyways, what a big Lola says, would have been an awesome match. Froggy says, two of the best characters. Oh, we already read that. Yeah, it would have been an awesome match. Absolutely, Glenola. Glenola, at what time, like at what period? Like, because I'm saying around the time that it was actually Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. I think that would have been the perfect time. But what to you, what would have been the best time to have Sting versus Taker? Or for anybody. Anybody else want to answer that question? Go ahead.
Only need to do 1-6 dragons now and 9 minute is done.
She flips it back on her. Gonna take a trip, gentlemen. Straight down to the 201 face breaker. Big four.
DC says, I only need 16 drawings now and my mini book is done. Fantastic, DC. Can't wait to see it. Sir Jack says she's a force to be reckoned with. All right, let's get back to the article here. So Sting versus The Undertaker is a dream match that did happen. Kinda. Sting wrestled Mean Mark Calloway at WCW House Show. However, no footage exists outside one picture. But it's not Surfer Sting versus Mean Mark fans wanted to see. It's the Crow Sting versus the Dead Man Undertaker. So, heard a bell ring. Good Lord. It looks like the champion just went up 1-0 over the Anomaly Tia Stevens. So this championship match has had its first fall. Let's see if Tia Stevens can make a comeback. I mean, she is a formidable opponent and a formidable former champion herself. Never say never when it comes to the Anomaly Tia Stevens, but the Three Faces of Fear is absolutely vicious, though. Anyways, while his moveset stayed the same, Sting's turn to the dark side breathed new life into the character and defines him to this day. It also made him an interesting counterpoint to the pro wrestling's OG dark dude, The Undertaker. However, while both guys were strong workers who could be carried to the masterpieces against a Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels, neither was known for carrying a match on his own. Besides, Sting's best work was in the early 90s, while Undertaker didn't level up until mid-2000s. By the time they were both in WWE in 2015, a match between the two would have needed all the smoke and mirrors to be watchable. Turns out Sting wanted just that, telling Sports Illustrated a pre-recorded cinematic match against Undertaker might have kept him from jumping to AEW. However, Undertaker apparently wasn't interested, telling comicbook.com, I just don't know what that match could deliver on the people's expectations. With the expectations being so high and the match not delivering, it would be a bigger disappointment than the match never happening at all. We're siding with the Dead Man on this one. What do you guys think? Do you agree with that? Agree with that. So Sting thinks if they had have done a pre-recorded, wow, the champion just won 2 straight falls over the Anomaly Tia Stevens. So ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match by submission, and still the WCW Women's World Champion from Team Leo the King, The three faces of fear. Angel Terror is your victor and still your champion. Congratulations to Team Leo the King and the three faces of fear. And of course, just the same, congratulations to the Public Enemy, who happens to be also part of Leo the King's team. All right, let me issue the payout for that.
CDIX Women's World Champion, TVS Angel Terror.
A big win for her, and she certainly earned it. Definitely a cause for celebration.
All right.
What an impressive victory.
So the winner of the match and still WCW Women's World Champion, the three faces of fear, Angel Terror. And there you go, the payout has been issued. All right, on to the next match of the night and the main event of the evening. And this is going to be an absolute banger, a slobber knocker. You don't want to miss it. Do not leave before this match ends. It is going to be smoking hot. And then, of course, we are going to invade someone. So don't you guys dare go anywhere. We will hunt you down, figure out who you are, and ban you from ever coming back to watch a show here at the Archiverse. We are going to invade. We're going to take the energy and take it elsewhere. Share it. Enjoy it. Spread the love. Join us or be banned. Goodbye. Get the fuck out.
Rick Angle needs this title. Going with the inaugural
All right.
Spirit Champion.
I get the betting line open here, but who do you guys think is walking out the WCW TNT champion? Now this is a fatal four-way elimination matchup, so you have to eliminate all of your opponents to walk out with the gold. We have the returning Adrian Adorable from Team Curlidi.
05, the number to win a YTD championship match.
We have AJ Styles.
Taking the rest. Play. Soul Embers, your numbers are 9, 7, 6. Good luck, Soul Embers. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from if you are the chose.
We have Karrion Kross, who was the former WCW World Champion just a short spell ago, looking to pick up more gold as he battles the other three villains in the matchup. And, of course, the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW TNT champion representing he is representing the weapons of mass destruction alongside Team Dedrick and the man called Drek, alongside BB King, the Samoa Lion, Big Bubba Bruno, the Archiverse World Champion, alongside Fat Lad Mitchell Vaughn from Team Dogface. He is the YTD Academy Grand Prix Wrestling Champion. And, of course, Austin Furious himself, the reigning, defending, undisputed WCW TNT champion, putting his title on the line against Karrion Kross, AJ Styles, and
We are mass weapons.
Adrian Adorable, the mouth of the South, the OG mouth of the Archiverse. Adrian Adorable from Team Curlidi Lobster's client in action tonight. But who do you guys think is walking out? The champion. You're going to have 5 minutes to make your bets.
I believe Soul is like 2-9 away from the 005.
And there we go.
Emoji lobster, emoji lobster, emoji lobster.
The betting lines are officially open, and it is showtime and go time for the main event of the evening. Fatal four-way elimination matchup for the WCW TNT Championship. It is officially go time. Let's go.
Don't sleep on the wraparound.
Wrap around or the reach around? I mean,
Either.
Hey guys, so before we get back to our list, I'm just going to step away for a brief moment. I do have to use the facilities while these guys make their way to the squared circle. I've got plenty of time. This is an elimination matchup. Now, they are four extremely talented and crazy villains, so I mean, anything can happen. The match could end in the blink of an eye. Who knows? But it is an elimination matchup. I'm sure I have time. And I'll, of course, get back to the list as soon as I return. I will be right back. And if... let's see. We don't want Joe Link telling jokes. We don't want Froggy Mothleg. Hey, Soul Embers. Soul Embers, we need, first of all, 4 people left the show before the invasion. So first of all, Soul Embers, could you find out who they are and we can ban them? Thank you. Second of all, if you could keep everybody entertained and tell some jokes while I'm gone, I would be very much appreciative. Very much appreciative. But first and foremost, find the 4 jabronis that thought it was funny to leave the broadcast before we invade the person, before we go over and visit the channel that we want to put smiles on the faces of the people, of the masses. Spread the electricity, the love, the energy. Find who they are. Ban their fucking asses. Do it now. And I'll be right back.
Well, you know, this ominous tune is just a prelude to the toll of man. We await the appearance of the sinister, multi-time NXT champion. A competitor with seemingly no weaknesses, no fears, and here he is, Karrion Kross.
Well, the 4 who left this village, you're on your own with the 1 and the other 3 I don't know. Ban's 4 scapegoats. What does Edge lack in his hair? Styles.
The time has come to fall
Lol.
and
Branded
pray.
Frog. Laugh.
And introducing the challenger from the edge of reality, weighing in at 239 pounds, the mouth of the South,
What does a train and greatest play have in common?
Remember, guys, the title is on the line here in this one.
So
And I don't
fun.
remember the last time the champ was in this much jeopardy, Cole. Tonight might just be the night the title changes hands.
The challenger looking determined. He will need the performance of a lifetime to become champion.
No idea on that one, Saul.
I've returned. All right. Everybody's still making their way to the ring, so I haven't missed anything. This is good.
You have an idea.
It is good. All right.
Champion, representing weapons of mass destruction.
Froggy banned scapegoats. Nice. Why did we ban scapegoats? What did I miss? Did we have a troll?
70 pounds.
What happened?
He is the WCW television champion.
Or you're just banning scapegoats in general?
Austin Furious.
Corey, what do you think of the
Thank you, DC. Appreciate that.
I love him. I'm not like everybody else.
All right, let's get back to the list here.
Everybody's ready to write the champ's demise, but not me.
So next on the list is Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My joke.
So fans will debate who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, but two spots indisputably belong to Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin. These guys weren't just the biggest stars of their respective eras, they defined them. If not for Hogan's rock and wrestling connection, WWE never would have gone national. If not for Austin's Attitude Era, WWE would never have gone and probably would have lost the Monday Night War. So yes, Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin is the biggest dream match of all time. No wonder WWE presumably wanted it for WrestleMania 18 instead of Hogan versus Rock. Problem was, Austin didn't. According to Jim Ross on his Grillin' JR podcast, Austin had it in his mind that Hogan's style and Austin's style were oil and water. He just didn't feel the chemistry. Truth is, Austin was right. Both guys worked best as mega babyfaces who defied the odds, though a heel Hogan versus face Austin might have worked. Hogan and Austin fought a bit during a 3-on-2 handicap match on Raw in 2002, and while they seem to work okay together, a tag match isn't a one-on-one encounter. Austin would have no-sold the Hulk up, while Hogan would have shrugged off the stunner. Also, let's be honest, the audience wouldn't know who to cheer for. They love both guys. And that kind of goes with what Glenola said, right? I mean, not too long ago, Glenola said that very thing. He said that, you know, it almost wouldn't be fair to the fans at that point, right? Let's go back and see exactly what Glenola said just a little while ago.
Play. Cylinders, your numbers are 5, 5, 4. Good luck, cylinders. There are some amazing and fun channel rewards to choose from if you are the choice.
Oh hell, it's way up there. But he said something similar along the same lines as what I just said. But anyway, what do you guys think? Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. What do you guys think about that?
That was just malicious.
You guys think that would have made an amusing match? You think it would have been good? I mean, do you guys consider that the greatest dream match of all time? Too much oil, not enough fire. Too much oil, not enough fire. That's what Soul Ember says. What do you guys think?
Perhaps thinking about what to do next here.
All right, so Joe Link says Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold would be awesome, but I think it would be a slow match. I can't say I disagree with that. I can't say I disagree with that. I think it would definitely be a slow match.
The promos would be awesome for the match.
Dream match, maybe? I don't know if it'd be the biggest dream match of all time, though, seriously. Hulk Hogan versus Austin. It might have been a dream match. I don't honestly, I can't remember a time where I thought, hey, I'd like to see Hogan versus Austin. Adrian and Orville has been eliminated. We are down to 3 in this fatal 4-way eliminator. Karrion Kross kicks out. 2 count only for AJ Styles. Joe Link says the promos would be awesome for the match. And then he said, wow, Adrian tapped. Adrian did in fact tap. GTS by the champion, AJ Styles, flat on his back here. Wow, kicks out, only a 1 count there. Only a 1 count, but the champion turns his sights to Karrion Kross. Big kick to the inside of the thigh there. Furious. Oh, another GTS. This time to Karrion Kross. He goes right back after Styles, but Styles rolls him right over into a calf slicer. Champion in trouble here. Elbows AJ right in the back of the head, though. Breaks the hold. Karrion Kross taking advantage. Grabs Furious immediately. But look at this AJ Styles from behind. Kross. Nice reversal. Flips right out of the... But look at this. Austin Furious. Future shock DDT. AJ Styles down for the count again. But only a 2 count. Oh! Wow! The Furious kick right between the eyes of Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross has been eliminated. It is down to AJ Styles versus Austin Furious. One of these two gentlemen going to walk out the TNT champion. Is it going to be the reigning defending champion? Or is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, going to pick up a big victory here tonight? Yeah, it actually is called a calf crusher, but a calf crusher actually is a calf slicer. Hence the confusion of the name. Styles covers the champ up. Oh, the champ barely gets his shoulder up. He powers out, though. Big knee right to the face. Springboard. 450 splash. Wow. Austin Furious. But AJ Styles kicks out again. Look at this, though. Camel clutch. Locked in tight by the champion. AJ's in trouble here. AJ is in trouble here. Wow, Furious let go of the hold. I don't know what he's doing there. No idea what that was about. AJ evades the Furious kick. Just get out of the way. That would have been the second in a row. He would have been done for sure. But now it is AJ Styles on the attack. And he is calling for Furious. Here it comes, flying forearm. He nails it right between the eyes. AJ covers him up for the 3. Wow, the champion kicked out. He's not done yet. He's still full of fight. Got lots left in the gas tank, apparently. Here we go again, though. Calf crusher. And the champion in serious jeopardy of losing his championship here. And there it is. That is it. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the Fatal 4-Way Elimination matchup by submission and a new WCW TNT champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Wow, what a night. What a night. That was a great night of action and a great way for the WCW roster to kick off the road to the second annual Archiver Slammiversary. And don't forget, in between, we have that pit stop over at the Shark Tank. The very first stream preview of 2022. First stream preview at all. The inaugural stream preview for YTD Academy. The tribute to the troops is not this weekend, but the following. And then it is just a short few-week trip to the second annual Slammiversary, and that is going to be a thrill ride of thrill rides like you've never seen before. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all for episode number 409 here at the Archiverse. It's been a fantastic time as always. It isn't the normal night for WCW Starrcade, but I appreciate everybody that showed up anyways. Usually we're here on a Friday night. It is Thursday night, not the normal evening. But thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll, of course, see each other Saturday evening over at the Shark Tank live on YouTube for YTD Academy episode number 8. And it's going to be a lot of fun because they, too, are looking towards their first stream preview, tribute to the troops, and, of course, some of them are going to want to get on that grandest stage of them all, the second annual Archiverse Slammiversary. We'll see you Saturday night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay. Get the fuck out of my channel right now. Goodbye.
Sweet dreams, and remember, it's our love, baby.